Sex, do it right. Sex, through the night. Sex, do it right. Sex, through the night. Sex is the only thing that matter nowadays. If you're looking for some women, there's a platter nowadays. Everybody BBL, that's a starter nowadays. But it isn't God made, that don't matter these days. I got a strong addiction. Uncle tried to tell me too grown to listen. Itching for a nut, I'm prone to fix it. Scrolling through my phone, I'm on a mission. Sex, do it right. Sex, through the night. Sex, do it right. Sex, through the night. Looking out my window, it's some girls outside. So I grabbed my keys, I told her get in my ride. Looking for that good sex, cause it's been a long time. She get wet, I'm trying to get on her slide. Sex, do it right. Sex, through the night. Sex, do it right. Sex, through the night. Good sex, good sex. Good sex, good sex. Good sex, good sex.
What is going on, people? I need a feedback if the vocals sound okay, the headphones sound whack. That's because I'm not used to them. Happy Friday the 4th. What in the world? It is October 4th. We are rolling through. Just glad to be here, guys. Glad to see everybody here. We got Brother Angelo in the house. We got Jim Tigliafera, channel member in the house. We got my man Joseph S., Brother Paul Mills, channel member. We got El Cap Addict. I know I'm going to miss people. I think I said hey to Angelo, but hey, Angelo, good to see you, brother. We got Neil McKenzie, channel member in the house. And there's Brother Jim again. You guys have been chatting. I love it. And y'all let me know. You know, I think I've said this before, probably ad nauseum, but the reason I said it live a few minutes early and let it play with the thank you screen afterwards is so people can chat without the cloudy, um, allegedly without the cloudy uh, overscreen, where at least on my Apple TV, I can't read it. But anywho's, did anybody catch Shane's late night grinding video? I watched it till about 3 o'clock in the morning, and it was portrait mode, and it's amazing. Colby, what is going on, buddy? It's amazing how many people. I almost went portrait mode tonight, but I wouldn't do that to you guys because I know how much you hate it. And it is kind of hard to communicate on multiple devices, but it brings in a lot of people. So we had some people come in, of course, smart asses, but also people that came in that were kind of interested by what Shane was doing. You know, they started out kidding and then they stuck around, and to me, the shorts, not as much on the short videos, but on the portrait style live streams, I almost wish I could hold those where nobody would watch them, because I think Shane got something like 4,600 views afterwards because you get a view just when people go past it. It's bizarre the way YouTube weights shorts. They don't weight them from an ad revenue standpoint because they're so short. But when I did that live stream, the only one, I might have done two, but I did one, my first portrait live stream. Everybody hated it. I didn't like it. I don't like the way it looks even on StreamYard. But that live made in ad revenue as of like a week afterwards, $12.37, I think. And I think my other live streams that have gotten not nearly the views, but they get about 400, 500. They may make $2 or $3, right, in ad revenue. So to me, I found it kind of fascinating that when I did it, I've got everybody in my chat kind of modded up so that they needed to bounce somebody or put somebody in timeout, they could. Shane didn't really have that last night, but they were really well behaved. I mean, I think it's because there's something to be said for watching somebody make something with their hands. Paul for the win. What is up, brother? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Ed, welcome. You snuck in here. And Brother Meersalt, the Sewer King, my channel member and brother. What is up? What is up? Guys, and I did a poll, and I know times are tough right now, and because I've had to pull all my channel memberships because I just don't have a credit card that works because I haven't been working. So I totally get it. But for those of you who are members, I'm going to do my first members live. And I kind of did a poll, not a scientific poll, but I did a poll in last week's stream. And then I did it on the members page. And it looked like the weekend during the day was kind of a thing, right? That's what people were kind of thinking. So I went and found a place Saturday, like at 2, I think. Nothing's really going on. That I could see, and y'all can tell me, because the reason I was saying that is it's totally flexible. I mean, I can do this thing at 4:00 Wednesday morning. I can do it at 3:00 Sunday afternoon. I don't really want to do it early in the morning because I'm a night owl, and you got Tri-State Sunday morning does his thing, does it well, and then I guess G-Ball doesn't go live Saturday morning, but the Night's Edge does. So I'm just looking for a little place where you know, they're not going to be a lot of us, but we're members. If you want to come jump in, hang out, talk about anything specific, have me take something apart or fuck something up, set up my sharpener. There's all kinds of things we can do. It won't be a Jared stream because I hope Kyle Coonley shows up tonight. Joe Isabella's been a member for 18 months. Joe Isabella also contracts. Should contracts. Let me exit solo layout. He is the pocket jank extraordinaire, and he contributes to the channel all the time. Super kind. Give Joe Isabella some major love. And you guys have won a lot of his pieces because he sent a lot of these to me, and I think he's probably mortified that I've hung on to the ones that I have because I've got more back here. I just have a hard time turning loose of them. And I'm not like that with a lot of stuff, you know, but like if I trade knives with somebody, I was talking to Carco via DM a couple of days ago because he's the one that sold me the Evo. And I always told him, like I tell anybody, if we trade knives or if I buy a knife from you, what is going on, Aries EDC? I have got my awesome pedal out here with glow carbon fiber and glow G10. But what I was telling Carco is, if you ever want it back because you miss it, because it's got Pro X bill scales, if you ever want this knife back, you tell me, I'll sell it back to you. No questions asked. He's like, dude, no, but if you ever decide to sell it, I would like first right of refusal. I said, dude, I'll do you one better. I'll put it in my will. Because the way I look at it, knives are, to me, because I'm not like a hardcore cutter guy, you know, I cut paper, I cut cardboard, I do, you know, my fair share of cutting, but I like them because they're shiny, they're sharp, they're cool. I'm fucking with this earphone. I apologize, guys. It's not going to work. But anyways, so the way I look at it is, if I get a knife from somebody, I've gotten several that Paul Mills and I have traded for, I'll look at those as forever knives because they've got sentimental value on top of the cool factor. But I also give, and I would, you know, I rarely ever have second thoughts, but I would always give someone the opportunity to get it back. So I try to say they're safekeeping. As Carco's not in here, I did get some slurry on this blade when I sharpened it. Kind of jacked it up. Not the blade itself, but just the black finish. But I don't care because it's a user. Joseph S., what is up? Addicted to Blades 2, what is up? I saw a couple of other people slip in here while I was just ranting. Knives are life. Good to see you, my friend. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Todd Carr, welcome from the great white north, my friend. We've got Aries EDC, one of the premier makers. Man, we were talking last night, Scott, I wonder if your ears were burning. Shane's trying to finish up some knives, and he was in the shop all night last night, live streaming, working on Kydex. And I know there are tricks on Kydex. For example, the way I tried to tell him via chat how retention, you have to almost have a little something that it's grabbing into to get that good snap. But he also didn't know how to do the push off. You know, and I've seen the way that you do it and others do it where it kind of flares up. It makes it super easy to pop off. And then I've also seen the way Tim Kell does it. It's almost like he gets it hot and takes a ping hammer, like a framing hammer, and makes a little flat spot. That one is knives. And I don't, but I'll tell you, it looks like a version of this Walmart plastic knife. See how that thing's stair-stepped? Tim's Kydex isn't stair-stepped. but it's just flat and it's got like a little waffle pattern on it. And before I talk about a Chinese knife, because I'm trying to not, Duty, I don't know if y'all saw Duty's Daggers video this morning, but I thought it was really good. Just kind of talking about how his evolution in the knife hobby's changed and how he's not going to be as involved with budget knives and things like that, which I totally get it, right? He's making his slips, he's making his strops, and those are going to be available. I'll let him tell you, watch his video, but he's got cool stuff happening. But this little knife that I happened to walk by when I was picking up some equates for my dad, this is that Swiss Tech D2 Light, Leicht, or something like that. I have beat the ever living shit out of this knife. I have stabbed it into stuff. I've not twisted the tip because I'm not a stabber, twister, and tip guy because I don't want a bunch of knives with broken tips, but I will stab them deeply into things. And this little knife for $38, and I'm just fucking with my headphone. It's driving me crazy. I'm probably going to put on my big ones here in just a second. Hold on. Let's see if I can get this thing to bury in my ear. All right. Small knife. They make a Bowie knife that I should have ordered on Walmart that was like $42, but I didn't order it because I've heard that these knives are kind of scarce. They're kind of hard to find, but you can go to Walmart's website or go to SwissTech.com and you'll find out that they're in Arkansas right outside of Bentonville, which means that they're a Walmart company. And you click buy or check out knives and it takes you to Walmart, their knives. But it's really, really nice. One thing that's a hard fail on it, and if I could talk to anybody at Swiss Tech, which they wouldn't care, but it'd be easy to fix, these scales have hardware where they can come off. That back scale's got like a little flat head, and that's got a Torx, T10, T8, I forget which. But it's got a non-captive, it's just a flat fucking little spinner, little dilly-dally spinner. So I was going to take the scales off to see how well it was treated, and to see if I could take the liners out, the G10 liners, and make it thinner, just to mess with the knife to see what it would do. And I can't get the scales off because of that oversight. Or my thought is, if you don't want people to take it off because you've glued it or epoxied it down, just don't give it the illusion of being able to be taken apart. But I would say under $40, and I haven't bought a lot of knives from Amazon this year, which I really should pick up a couple of fixies that have looked good. One of them is an Omessa. I'll show it to you in a second. I've actually had one of the Omessas, but they've come out with 2 new blade shapes. They're about $27. But this is a very good, small, EDC, inexpensive, $38 after taxes, fixed blade. And like I said, I've chopped wood with it. I've jabbed it into wood. I've cut down cardboard. Sorry about that. I just whacked my mic. So let's see if it still cuts paper. I did early on put an edge on this knife because I wanted to see how the D2 burred up, get an idea of how it was treated. And guys, it's thin. I think it's a winner. The only little drawback for me, the thing I've noticed that makes it that I think could be improved on, see that little tiny choil at the back? I catch material in that somehow. And that's probably just me. And that's not really the knife's fault. But yeah, this little guy, I had it out because I was out cutting some cardboard with it. And it's going to eventually be a giveaway knife. But right now, I'm going to do a long-term review of it because I don't know if I told you guys, but this video, when I posted it, First of all, when I posted the unboxing video, which was just a Walmart bag rolled up with this in it, that got a shitload of views. I did a review on this knife, or overview. I don't do reviews, really, overview. But if you look, let me see if I can find it. I want to say it has become my most viewed video ever. And it was only put out a few weeks ago. So people really respond to it. That's what I'm having trouble with. And what I want to get better at is I want to be able to make videos that people want to watch, right? So I see something like this that to me was such a very simple, talking about a fixed blade. There's not a lot you can talk about it on. I had no links because you can just go to Walmart if you want to and check it out. But it has got, oh, where'd it go? Where'd it go? It's got 17,200 views. And I'm not one of those guys that gets a lot of views on my longer form content. I get a lot on my shorts. Gnarly Charlie, what is up? The Moroni. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Dude, pop back later, and if you get a chance, try to pop into the members live tomorrow at 2. I'm trying to find a time that works for people and just kind of hang out, talk specific knives, take apart knives, break stuff, Rob Dobbins, what's up? Kevin Smith and Knives, welcome, welcome. Good to see you, buddy. Jeffrey Dawson. Yeah, so I'm hoping Kyle Coonley comes in because he had been lobbying for me to send him this. I'm about to sneeze, guys. Man, I will wild out when I get those phantom sneezes that come up out of nowhere. That was like if I'd had broken ribs when that happened, I would have definitely wet myself. So anyway, I've got a mini A100, and Kyle's told me how to sharpen this. This knife's unique in that it's got on one side the Scandi grind, and then it's got the little bevel grind, which is now rocking right around 18 degrees because I've kind of fucked it up. But then the back, you've got the Scandi that comes down to a full just chisel, right? So all I do here, I watched the Cedric and Avia video he put up today where he was sharpening a chisel ground kitchen knife, and that's what made me want to do this one. So I started out doing it by hand. That was a mistake. Then I put it on the TS Prof, and probably need to work a little bit more, or realistically just send it to Kyle Coonley. I don't think this is much of a challenge for him. But I would love, since he's working with TS Prof now, and I use them for my knives, I would love, he needs to start doing tutorials. I could do a private stream with him where he could show me some shit, or he could do a live stream for the community where he shows things like how to deal with bellies, how to deal with tips, how to make sure you keep your grind consistent, yada, yada, yada. And I've watched Jared and pick up on that stuff, but it's just, I wasn't at the place where I was trying to keep all my grind lines going in the same direction when I was watching that stuff. I wasn't as, I guess, I wasn't as, what would you say, adept at using my tools. I did make the right decision, and at the time when I could, I never invested in 6-inch stones. I like 4-inch stones, even though I know 6 inches are easier, make it a lot better. But I got used to 6-inch or 4-inch stones early on, and I had these Veneve Scorpions that I bought that were not as much as a sharpener, but they were pretty high. And I bought an Atomi, so I've got good 4-inch stones. Don't really want to swap them out yet because they do great. All I have to do is reprofile them every 3 months. I'm not sharpening a ton of knives, but I want to get better with it. And I'm nervous that I'm doing something fatally flawed. And when I watch Jared, I kind of get one vibe, and then when I watch others, I'll get another vibe. And I trust Kyle Coonley because I could send him like pipe bombs and shit if he gave me bad information. Kyle Coonley, there he is. Speak of the devil, and he comes. So I tried to sharpen my A100 today. I watched Cedric and Ada's new video where he was bench stone sharpening one of his kitchen knife chisel grinds, showing how easy it was. I started trying to do it by hand. That didn't go very well. Then I put it on my TS Prof, tried to get the edge angle with the Sharpie, figured it was about 17 degrees, or that's what I went with. And I think I lowered it some because I haven't really gotten a strong burr. And then I used, since it's got this Scandi grind, I used just a real slick Veneve stone just to slightly rub it over at an angle, maybe twice, and then I just stropped it. But Kyle, I think I want to send it to you. I'm waiting. I asked my buddy A to Z because I know he's got Cortex. I don't know if you've checked out a Brian Brown Cortex or Craig Brown Cortex, but it's an awesome knife. But he might have one that I can send a couple in one package. I've got a lot of materials, but if you don't mind, we need to talk about me sending you my little mini A100. And I'd love to have you, and I know you're thinking, why in the hell would I want to come on a live stream and demonstrate how to sharpen knives when I can do it on my channel? I'd love for you to do it on your channel. I would love to watch how you deal with tips, bellies, how you work your stones. Because I've watched Jared's and he does a great job, and that's where I've learned everything I've learned so far. But I'm doing something not consistent when I go from the flat part of the blade and try to round the tip. And I'm trying to keep no pressure except for the pressure of the stone, and I'm trying to let it cover all the same amount of area the same amount of times. And I know that the tip's a little trickier sometimes, but I feel like I need a clinic. Fred the Lug, hello, my friend. Hello. The Craig Brown Cortex, Fred. I've handled not as many knives as a lot of these guys that are my buddies that have handled a ton more. But of all the knives I've ever had come through my hands, my local buddy, A to Z EDC, has pre-ordered the Cortex, and it's the finest. I can honestly say it is the finest, most wonderful pocket knife I've experienced today. Better than my Koenig, better than my Lamia, much better than the Oz Roosevelt that I love. My Evo, there's just something about. And do y'all know you could adjust the detent and the lockup on that knife? That if you take the blade out, it's got two little posts. There is some, and I know that's my squirrel brain going from whatever we were going to, but I'm going to go to this Craig Brown knives real quick, and I'm going to show you guys some. Craig Brown is a knife maker, yeah, but he is an aerospace engineer. So he's one of these guys that approaches things, in my opinion, from a different problem-solving angle. Okay, so if you go to his website and you go to resources, that's where you find all the cool shit. So this tells you how to adjust the Cortex XL. So they shipped a little hex tool with it. And the little hex tool is for these two little things in the blade. Guys, I'm telling you, this knife is a frame lock, but it locks up somewhere else too. I know it doesn't seem possible, but that hook that I've got my arrow pointing to above that lock pin, there's a milled out part in the scale that fits that perfectly. And when the frame engages, this seems to seat itself in the actual scale too. But you've got these two little things that you turn like, I forget how, very, very tiny amount. And you can adjust your detent strength. Why? I don't know. I guess because he could. And you can adjust your lock pin strength. Why? I don't know. Maybe because he could. And then when you look at resources, like adjust the mini FSD eye lock. It's got similar little off round shaped little pins with the Torx on one side in an off shaped blade. I don't know how this works. Rotate the black screw set pictured below using a 0.05 hex. It's included. Clockwise will decrease the detent strength. Counterclockwise will increase the detent strength. 5 degrees of rotation will yield large results, which means you barely want to move it when you're adjusting it each way. So my point is, I did not know that you could adjust the detent, much less the detent, what's it say, detent pin, to rotate clockwise to increase detent and counterclockwise to decrease detent or remove lash. Please note the set screws are stiff. Please insert the hex tool all the way and apply an axial force. I mean, cool stuff. Don't you guys think? I mean, not that I'm going to go in and take apart my over $1,000 knife that's freaking perfect. I mean, the one I had, my buddy A to Z's, is freaking perfect. It is a perfect knife, perfect specimen. The only thing that confuses me is the fact that they call it an XL. And I don't know what that stands for because it's not an extra large knife. But it's just so good. Snowtrog, what is up, brother? See who else is in here. But yeah, Kyle, let's talk, buddy, and figure out what I can do with my A100. Send it to you to play with. And then let's find a time we're going to have really small Saturday member lives. I've got my Tuesday night thing that I started doing late night, and then Friday night flicks. I'd love to have you come in and set up a TS Prof and share your code and just talk about why you like them. I like them because I had first, what's up, Ed Harrison and Chris229, both channel members, rock stars. Love you guys. Michael Upchurch, what is up? What is up? But I started with a Spyderco sharp maker, the one that had the 2 rods, the borite rods and the ceramic rods. And then I bought diamond rods for it because I'm an idiot. And I bought the extra fine. And I used that for a while, and I could do okay. But then I wanted a fixed angle system, and I waited until the first work sharp came out. And then, Kyle, I will send you one right now, my brother. I went to, let me do this real quick for Kyle before I forget. Let me do this before I forget. Have y'all been seeing all the posts from Blade Show? It looks like it's happening. I saw Stevie and Maddie and Snuzz and Katie and Ethan Ruins, who I got to room with 2 years ago. Michael Upchurch, member for 1 year, brother. A year. Dude, thank you so much. All right. Kyle Cooley, you have got a link, my friend. You got a link. I wish I was at Blade Show too, just to see the people, because I saw that I didn't see the live, but I know that I'm assuming Zach and JB are out there. I've met JB. I've never met Zach. I know Sharif, Maddie. I met Maddie and Snuzz the first year. I met Sharif last year. I've never met Katie. And I want to say, I don't know if the pictures they posted of Eli were with a babysitter that he's staying with, or if he's with them too, if they've taken Eli. For some reason, I thought they were. But yeah, I mean, I think it would be a blast to be out there. And what I'm trying to find out, and I'm going to look right now, I'm going to see if Nashville is having their custom knife show. Let's go to 5150 Productions. 50. 50. 50 shows. Nice show. I don't know what I'm searching for, but I'm going to freaking find it. Nashville Custom Knife Show. All right, let's see if we're going to have one this year, because that's usually in November. It's a very small show. When I say small, it's got very, very, November 23rd and 24th. So check out the exhibitors that are going to be in Nashville. It's a 2-day show, and it's in a very small hall, so you get some really one-on-one time with these makers, because it's hectic if you go Friday morning, early bird, and try to go in and buy all Andrew's knives. But you've got people like Artisan Cutlery, Israel Bacchus from Arcane, you got Bassinelli, you've got people like Dimco, that'll be Andrew, and his son, probably Dustin Driver Defense. That is a guy who lives about 45 miles away from me. And I don't have the splinter in here, but I've got one of his knives. Ernest Emerson Knives. You've got John Gray, who's out at Blade Show West. You've got Kirby Lambert. So really, it's Leon Ma's going to be there this year. I think he was telling us on the show. Let's see who else. Essex Knives. I don't understand them. They're more expensive than Jack Wolf, but that's neither here nor there. Let's see who else is going to be there. Spartan Blades, Squid Industries. And guys, this is, if you can picture a hotel room, this is like one or two of the halls. So it's a very quaint, small, the biggest you can get is a table. There are no booths. Vero Engineering, Caleb White. So yeah, I mean, some pretty cool makers. I was seeing Notorious EDC, Heretic and Marathon. Let's just see if I missed anybody here. Because last year when I went, I knew exactly what I wanted from who. So yeah, this is going to be at the end of November. So any of you who are in the southeastern United States, Nashville is about 2 hours from me. I think it's about 2 hours from Atlanta. No, it's farther than that. St. Louis, a few hours. It's Nashville's pretty easy to get to because it's on the north side of town out of Sheridan. Really easy to park. I usually roll up there with my buddy A to Z EDC and Dark Gravity and Shane, by the way, and a lot of y'all aren't in the YouTube group, but I was talking about how most of my channel growth, 70% of it, and 70% of my subscribers come from shorts, because I post a lot of 15-second shorts, really simple shorts. It takes me 20 minutes to do 15 of them. I copy my 4 hashtags. The only 4 hashtags I use is YouTube Shorts, YouTube Short, singular, and short. Nothing about knives, nothing about nothing. Lee Wolf, what is up, brother? Welcome. Happy Friday Knife Flicks. But yeah, it's it totally it left my brain. Whatever it was, whatever I was trying to hang on to come to conclusion on, it slipped out. It's Alzheimer's disease, dude. I'm telling you guys, I'm at the early stages. It only makes sense because my dad has it. I'm spending a ton of time around him, which means I'm probably by just absorption sucking up some of that stuff. Let me show you guys something that I thought was pretty cool. I'm gonna make myself, well, no, I'm not. Y'all know what that is? Because I don't. I just know it's my buddy's A to Z EDC. And watch this. You got a drop point and a Tonto. Look at the blade steel. M390. It says super sharp. They're wooden with these offset handles, right? So you if I wasn't so spastic, you line them up like that, and then you carry them like that. And then when you're going to go ham on somebody and you're going to wield, I thought that they were two Tontos. I didn't think it was a Tonto and drop point. That kind of sucks. And they're not short, but the handles feel good because they're square. I don't know how long the blades go down in the handle, but those are different. I don't think they were expensive. I don't know much about them, except he said, here, go review these, see what you think of these. I was like, well, I think they're weird. But anyways, there's that. And I guess you would just carry it in your pocket since it closes up on both sides. It's kind of self-contained, right? So you can kind of just stick it in your back pocket. You could also use it as a whacking stick. Javon got a job at Benihana. Dude, I worked in, I say this liberally, I was the marketing manager and the vice president of a cabinet shop in about 45 miles south in Arab, Alabama. And I was never around tools because I'm klutz. I would cut my finger off in a heartbeat if I was back around the tools. When I'd walk back there, like to walk through the shop to go to the bathroom, they would turn off machines because I would be the type that would get sucked into one, like a belt sander. Benihanas, I would have no fingers. I mean, there's too much finesse there. I definitely respect it. Mad respect. Mad respect for chefs like Steve, Super Still Steve, just to watch him slice with one of his nice vegetables with that chef's hand. Did y'all see the video that Lee Bama Knife Guy posted? Let me find something to show y'all. I think this is worth a see because they were trying to find out if it was AI, and I think it's been proven that this is an actual knife cutting this. So bear with me. I'm going to share this real quick. Boom, boom. I got to quit doing that. I'm get that. I picked that. That's a bad habit. That bump bullshit. All right, goofball. Where is it? Was it a story? Don't tell me it was a story. I don't want to watch your story. Where is it? Hold on. Hold on. Where did I see it? It must have been a story. Damn it. All right, let's do this. Go back to stories. See if it's still there. See, I don't know how to scroll. I don't know how to find somebody's story if it's not just up there for me to see. But I saw it. It's one of his posts. Messages. Where did I see that damn thing? Where did I see that damn thing? It wasn't there. It sure wasn't there. Where's the stories? Where's the stories? These are usually in order. All right, damn it. I guess not. But anyway, it's a water bottle, and it's a chef's knife. It's a chef who has what's that? Not it. But it's a chef that is got this blade that he's sharpened, and he's got this water bottle, and he just literally holds it. He holds the knife at an angle like you see people cutting paper towel tubes, right? And he just pushes through it, and the water, you can see it hang on the top of the blade before it pours out. It's such a clean cut. I wish I could find that. I wish I'd shared it. I wish I knew how to share stuff. Because if I don't send it in a message, I don't have it. Let's put I welcome everybody banner up. Give you guys some love. Because I do appreciate you guys more than you know. I have nothing to do. I'd just be hanging out here trying to come up with a video. I've got another fixed blade video that's going to probably come out tomorrow, and then I've got a couple of others that are, what's weird. Scotch Things, what is up? Kyle Coonley, I sent you the link. Scotch, are you home, brother? I saw you were out with your wife for dinner, so I didn't send you a text. I did not send you a message because I felt like you need to be watching movies and romancing that lovely lady for putting up with your shit. I'm sending you a link, but your wife's going to hate me. Oh, Kyle, take your time, buddy. We're here. You come in anytime you want to, brother. All right, let's find Scotch real quick. I'm sending these headphones back. They're just too much of a pain in the ass. Even though my big ones are brutal. Scotch, we decided you were pretty far from Nashville, right? You're closest to Texas, Blade Show, Texas. Hey, Ed, I was going to tell you that November, let's see, let me share it again. November 20, where is it? Get off the exhibitor list. Let me share it. But the Nashville Custom Knife Show is later in November this year. So even though we're not at Blade Show West, I know you don't drive, but I might even come get you. So it's Friday the 22nd. We usually go up there. Last year we went Friday. It was a nightmare. I mean, it's the best way to do it. Saturday, but a lot of times there's not a lot there Saturday. It's definitely not a 2-day show for me. It's just a one and done because, like I say, you're in the Sheridan Hotel. So if we go to the Sheridan, hold on, let me show you what these rooms look like. Sheridan Grand. For any of you who've gone to Atlanta or Texas, this is a much, much smaller, more intimate venue. I'm kind of sad that I don't see TRM there. So I want to go to the amenities. I don't want to look at the rooms. I don't want a room. I want Nashville. Where's Nashville? I don't want top 20 destinations. All right, reserve your room. I don't want to do that. I don't want that. I want to look at the Sheridan Nashville. I don't want reservation desk. That. I want to look at the goddamn conference room to show these beautiful people. Let's just do this. Let's go Sheridan Nashville conference. And it's rooms. All right. So 20 different spaces. Let's see if this shows it. All right. So when you walk into it, the knife store or the knife show's on the first floor. So you come in. That's a convention room with tables in it. They just don't, they have the tables set up differently. So let's see. It's in one of the ballrooms, but they're small. Like I say, I mean, you can, I walked around probably 4, 5 times to every table, and you just get tired. You know, I mean, if you're not just buying stuff constantly, so you come in on the first floor lobby level, and then the second floor here is where I think this convention is. Hold on, 5, 6, what's that? Yep. So these ballrooms on the left here, when you come in, 9, 10, Melody Room. That's where they do photos. 11 is a terrace. Okay, so this is where the show is. It's these plantation ballrooms. And it's like I say, it's not that big. I wish I had some pictures from it inside, and I think that is a picture of it inside. And you know, they got these walls that separate that come out. But yeah, so if any of y'all are around Nashville, I don't know why I took so long on that. That was whack. It's really an old hotel, and it's easy to get to because there are parking garages down there. We've never, knock on wood, had trouble parking. We've hung out in the lot and checked out knives. I got to show y'all something. I think I've already shown it to you. Have I shown y'all this little guy? My little old-timey match from CountyCom. It's got lighter fluid in it and a little flint. Whoops. Will I ever use that? Probably not. I thought it was cool. They also make them in Ultim. Something from CountyCom to throw in your hit the image button at the top of Google. Thank you, Fred the Lug. Go back to Sheridan. Get out this PDF. And believe it or not, I'm a digital marketer, so I should know that. Yes, here we go. So I'm going to share. And Fred the Lug gets the award for tonight for most helpful so far. All right. So this is kind of it. This is kind of the vibe you've got, right? And you can take out some of these dividing walls. This is it, I think, right here. I think that's the whole shebang. And they've got tables going long, you know, ass to head. So you've got aisles that you can walk up and down. Let's see if they got any pictures for the show. I bet they do. I bet if we go to 51 Productions. Productions. Oh, fuck. I apologize for the language, people. I think it's just because I put the parental advisory sticker on there. And I might look tame on the outside, but inside I'm all wrapped. All right. Let's go to this. And let's see if we can look at the show. Resources. You know, I've been twice, and I've been a winner where you drop your ticket stub in on both shows. The second show, I got screwed because they couldn't read my address. I would have gotten a Spartan fixed blade. I forget which one it was called. It was a cool show. It was a cool knife. I didn't get it, but I did get. But the year before, I won a Spartan Talos. So where are nice show photos? Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. So that's the ballroom, right? Okay, that's outside. I never went outside. That doesn't look like where I was. Hold on. That don't look like where I was. Hey guys, we got a special guest. We have got Brother Kyle Coonley. I'm going to pull this crap off. What's going on, Kyle?
How we doing?
We're doing good. What
You hear me
fancy?
okay?
Yeah, I'm gonna make you, if you don't mind, just so we can see it, make you a little bit bigger. Because I'm
Okay.
trying to see which model do you have there? Because I know
This-
mine's one of the early ones.
This is the KO3 Pro.
Okay. And that's a
So-
top down. We're looking at it, and
Yeah, I can't switch my camera. Well, hang
you
on.
don't have to. You don't have to, dude. You're fine. I can see everything perfectly. I'm just looking at you. Got your two clamps there facing you, right?
Yeah, I'm seeing if I can switch my camera so it's easier to rotate it.
To me, they're so even the Blitz 360, which I guess is one of the base models. It's built so well. I mean, the fact that I can go in and I can use a 6mm Atomi stone, and then go in and use my 8mm thick Venetives and use that little adjustment, that fine adjustment ring. I don't know how accurate it is, but it seemed to work really well. That was a Blitz feature. I don't know if that one.
Yeah, this is huge. I mean, it's heavy. I'd say it's probably 8 pounds, probably 9 pounds.
Well, you
It,
want the base to be heavy, don't you? I mean,
Yeah,
you
I
definitely
mean,
want.
it's extremely hefty.
And just steel and aluminum. It looks like you've got a really long travel for you can do big blades on that where I can't. It looks like you've got a lot more.
Yeah, so these are the new central clamps where you can actually. They got the L shapes here where you screw them in. I'll take one off, show you.
Yeah.
So this part screws in to the back of this clamp, adds on, so then you can flip them so it'll go reverse, so it gives you more distance, or you can flip it around and get it completely in the center. So it's
Have a small knife, right?
It's a central clamp this way.
Guys, these systems, because I mean, like I said, I started with the Sharp Maker and didn't do very good on that. And then probably my most successful early sharpening, which I still use today, is my little Work Sharp field sharpener. I can do pretty decent with that. But my TS Prof, after having a Work Sharp with the Gritomatic stone holder, going through all the different features you could get for that, I finally just got the Blitz and then all the different attachments that it came out with when they were selling through them at what's it called, Gritomatic.
Yeah.
I bought the 360 pivot. I bought the better stone clamps that work better. Several other things, just because I'm an idiot. And then I learned to use it. But the problem I have is around the tip, and I don't know. I'm curious just to see how you work a couple, because
Okay. Let me do
should-
something from the very beginning.
Sure.
So, like, I'll set it up to be. So a lot of it becomes in the very beginning how you actually clamp it in. So this is, it's got a little belly. This is the Bridgeport 395.
Yep.
So the key is getting the first portion on your blade closest to you. So trying to get that as straight as possible, and then just barely tighten it in just so it stays put. And then you're going to line the second one up so that way you can get this point here.
even as a little curve.
As level as possible, yes.
Right. So you've got the same distance, I guess, at the front as you do as the back if you get it adjusted in the blade. You don't use tape on yours? I guess you've got tape on your clamps. It looks like you've got some kind of protective something on your clamps.
Yeah, this is Captain tape on the clamps, so that protects if you get any slight abrasions from the abrasive, the stone. Now, as far as if I was taping this up for a client, yes, I would tape this blade up, but I'm just showing for
Oh yeah, yeah.
And then I'll use a this is just a strop, but I'll show you kind of the principle. This knife doesn't even have an edge on it right now. So the key is, well, first down, you got your angle set, right?
Right. You get your angle set the way you want it.
Correct. And then what I end up doing is typically your tip and your heel will always be a little bit off compared to what you are dead center in the belly. Okay.
And they seem to burr later for me.
Correct. Because of the way they're ground, you're either going to have a thinner or thicker tip, typically a little thicker.
And a little thicker heel.
Same thing in the heel as well. So those end up getting a little bit more work, so to speak, than the center does. So what I'll do is I'll start here. I'll do a couple strokes here.
Okay, so you do some perpendicular.
Just starting out, okay? Just to kind of see where I'm at.
Right.
And then I'll make some full passes, and then I'll do a couple up here at the tip the same way. Then I'll go back to full passes. I'll pause, take a look, and see where I'm at, and see how level the bevel is. And then if I need to adjust any more in specific areas, I can. Then I go into complete blend mode, just doing full passes the whole entire time.
Are you doing them one way? Do you find that that's more consistent for you? Okay, so you like to pass from heel to tip, it looks like.
Yeah. And if you notice too, what I do with my finger here is I always put it underneath the tip like that.
So you're not going to snap your tip if you happen to go past it. That's brilliant.
Well, it's not rolling it off either. So what you try to do is you try to end it right here where you're dead center on the middle of the tip. But some knives, especially like on clips or, some knives, the tip goes way up. It's almost impossible. Or the way it's a compound grind and it actually changes direction. So when you get to here, it may turn like this. It may actually turn in and roll. So that's why I keep my finger there. So when I'm going forward, it still stays on, even if I'm just letting the stone ride the bevel. I'm not trying to force it to do anything specifically.
And do you use your eye to see if that bevel's level? Do you use a little jeweler's loop? Do you use a straight edge? I mean,
right here.
I've got one of those. I've got that exact thing. So you can tell if there are waves in it, I guess.
Correct. So obviously just getting up underneath the bevel, taking a look all the way through, making sure that I've got the bevel completely flat, and then I'll actually move to it. But so as you're sharpening, you're feeling for the backside, you're feeling for burr, right? But
let me ask you this before you go that far. Do you always get a burr before you flip it, or do you sometimes on the same stone have to do it a couple of times? Or you always wait till you obtain that burr before you flip it?
I will say yes, because if you already have a knife that's got a bevel, that's pretty much the generalized practice. Now, if you've got a knife that's got extremely wonky bevels, or it doesn't have a bevel, it's brand new and you need to set it, that's different.
Like you're setting it to 17, you'll say you.
Well, no, say like I get a knife in from Shane, right? And he hasn't put a secondary bevel on it, and I need to create one. Then I'll work from side to side so I can get it completely lined up to an actual, a point. But if I'm coming to a bevel that currently, then I'll work one side till I get a burr, flip it, and then go back and do the same thing on the other side.
Okay, so you will always work that side. Almost, not always, but most likely, the knives I'm sharpening, I'm going to work the one side until I start to feel that burr.
Correct. Absolutely correct. So, but the key is, so not only feeling the burr, but when you're looking at the actual bevel with your loop, jeweler's loop,
right?
Making sure that you have an even scratch pattern from heel to tip. So you follow the scratch pattern more than you do with the actual burr, because then the burr will come with an even scratch pattern.
Right. So when you're looking with the loop and you see inconsistencies, your main concern is to keep that scratch pattern as uniform as possible.
Correct.
I've heard Jared say that, but I never really understood the application of it.
Correct.
So that makes sense. Let me ask you something just trivial. How long have you been, like when you sharpen that chickadee, did you sharpen that on a fixed angle system, the one I bought from Kevin?
That's been so long ago, I can't remember which one I did that on.
Do you do freehand too?
Yeah, I've got freehand stones as well too. It depends on what I'm doing, and what the job entails. If it's something that I need to be uber specific on, and a client knife or high end knife, then I'll typically go to a system so that way I know it's dead on and there's no issues. If I'm doing quick jobs, sometimes I'll do it on freehand stones,
Right.
or kitchen knives, something that's real thin. But generally, if it's a client knife, I'm probably doing something on a TS Prof.
I think my mistake was when I first got the TS Prof after having the work sharp. I think I thought my technique was better than it was and trusted the gear more than my technique.
Right.
And that's where, because I would be happy only using fixed angle systems. I mean, I'd love to eventually get to bench stones, but I know how expensive they can be. And I don't think I think with my ADHD, I'd never get my elbow to be consistent. My muscle memory sucks. But I like it that you're using fixed angle systems, because you do. I mean, literally, Kyle, I'm not blowing smoke. I say it jokingly on when y'all make fun of my chickadee, but it's one of the sharpest knives I've got, and it's not a thin grind. It's not a thin blade.
No, and that was a long time ago. I mean, I've gotten considerably better since then. That's one thing I always try to strive, is always get better with each job I'm doing. You're learning little tricks. I mean, yeah, it's pretty simple and self-explanatory as far as how you actually go back and forth on the blade, but there are definitely little tricks to the trade as far as deburring, how to get the knife as sharp as possible, making sure that pattern's evil, or even getting the bevel completely flat. I mean, there's all different types to it.
And do you have finishing grits that vary based on the steel or based on the application of the knife, or do you like to take them all to about the same?
No. It depends on steel. So there's a lot of factors. Firstly, when I'm working with a client, what I try to do is figure out what's the use case of the knife. If it's going to be a show queen and it's just going to sit in a drawer, it doesn't matter what you put on. You can mirror anything.
Right.
But that's not ideal for certain steels, and it's not ideal for certain use cases. So then what I'll do is I'll figure out what are they using it for, figure out the grind, figure out the steel, and then come up with a game plan as far as how it should actually react. And then we'll set on that, and that's how I finish the stone, or finish it on the stones.
And I guess it's going to vary based on the size of the knife. But if you're doing a really nice knife, you're taking your time with it. Are you looking at hours? Are you looking at 30 minutes? It seems to take me about 30 minutes on a small knife, going slow, fucking up a little bit, but trying not to too much.
The key is don't time it. You're done when you're done, because every knife's different and it's going to react different. So the heat treat on one knife may be different than the next knife. The geometry is different. The angle may be different. There's all different factors into it. So don't worry about the time. Worry about getting that even scratch pattern and getting a burr on both sides, and then taking your time to deburr it.
Are you still working with people in the community? I mean, just doing sharpening, or are you trying to work more with people that are manufacturers and lean into that a little bit more? I don't know if you saw Duty's Duty's video this morning, but it was kind of cool. He's going to be offering his slips and his strops exclusively through traditional pocket knives, because he was having so much trouble keeping up with the custom orders. It just, because he's got a full-time job, he does videos, and then he has his, when he started making his strops, they took a lot of time away from his slips. So it works out really well because he can do 2-size slips. He'll still do a few customs for people, but he'll be able to make a whole bunch of slips turn them around with one check, right, with a PO, and get paid. And I was wondering what's the best way to promote you to get. I mean, are your books open? Do you close your books? Do you?
So all those things have, again, kind of like everything I do, is so many variables. So yes, my books are open right now. If things get hectic, sometimes I close them, or because what I end up doing is I try to keep my turnaround times at a week or less. So when I get the knife in, the general process is, so I work with somebody, talk to them, figure out what they want. We'll get the knife shipped to me. Once I get the knife in my hands, I'll reach out and say, hey, I got your knife, just to let you know everything's safe and sound, and you're in the queue. Once they're in the queue, from that point until I'm done, should be in actual package and out the door, should be a week or less.
Guys.
So therefore, if things get massive as far as hectic, I may say, hey, I may be busy this next week or so, but so by the time you send me the knife, I should be good. Or, I may close down for 2 weeks if I got a big batch of knives coming in. It just all depends. But yeah, so I try to keep my books open as long as possible.
And just give realistic expectations. I think that's something that you can say, look, usually it takes me a week turnaround, but I've got a lot of knives here. You're welcome to go ahead and send it in, but it could be 3 weeks.
And so what I end up doing is I don't like to hang on to people's knives that long. So I'll tell them to wait, and then I'll just put them in the queue and say, hey, ship it this time, and go from there.
Right.
But my thing is, I don't like to overpromise and underdeliver. I'd much rather to underpromise and overdeliver. So I'm always trying to keep the communication lines open. I probably communicate too much sometimes, but I always like to keep clients in the know of what's going on. If there's any snags, they get to know before I even move forward.
Never communicate too much if you're providing a good or a service, because people are so used to people not communicating and going into witness protection, so to speak, that's only going to set you apart in the future. Don't change that, unless you need to change it to get yourself more manageable as you grow. But I would say that's a fantastic attribute to have, and it makes a difference.
Well, coming from my business background, I try to treat it like a business, so that someone is actually, they're spending their money on the service that they may or may not need. They may be able to sharpen the knife to what they think is sharp, but they may not have had something done to my level. And I'm not trying to say I'm better than anybody else, but I do a pretty damn good edge, and not everybody knows what truly sharp is. So,
and you're reliable, you're reputable. You've got so many people that have sharp knives from you, even if they were old knives. I think I remember you telling Kevin, did you ever use a what was a little one called that had the wooden handle?
The KME? No. So
okay, so you never had a KME.
Here's my other one. I'll bring it over. This is the Cadet. This is the other one I've got, and that shows you the difference in size compared to the two. I mean, it's a massive difference.
And the Cadet's bigger, I think, than the Blitz.
Yes, the Cadet is bigger than the Blitz, and this is dwarfed by the KO3.
How are you liking working with TS Prof? Are you able to get product? Is anything from everything going on over there slowed things down?
No. So what I end up doing is I talk to their marketing department, and I work with the U.S. side, so I don't have to deal with getting product direct from them. So if something's available in the States, then I'm able to get it. If something's available overseas but not here, I can't get it. It just makes it simpler that way. Right.
Are you an authorized reseller?
No, I'm not. I'm not actually selling anything. That's why they set me up with the TS Prof US website, the affiliate link there.
So you've got an affiliate link. That's correct. Okay, so you do benefit from sales that come through you. I'm just trying to think of the best way.
Yeah, I mean, I don't push it, and like everyone knows in the chat, they're going to be smart asses. Then they like to push it for me. I don't like to self promote. What I'm doing it for is more as a service to TS Prof for kind of R&D and testing, and then also giving my opinion and feedback on any products to the community as well too.
I love that, dude. I mean, that's the right reason.
I'm not in it for money. I don't want money out of it. Like they offered me some different options as far as what we could possibly do. And I told him flat out early on, I want nothing as far as money, because I didn't go into this just wanting to try it out and get feedback. I already was bought into the company. I already had systems, so it wasn't like I
You
wasn't
were
like I
just
was
out there fishing for products to have.
correct. Correct.
And I think that's a good. Thank you, Marco. He just put your link up. I think that's the best way to do anything. I truly believe if I turn down, like, and I probably shouldn't because a lot of other people review them, but budget knives, not that they're budget knives, but they're just not knives that I was buying before I had a channel. Now, before I had a channel, I was buying Vosteeds, Kubis, Civivis, Kaisers. I'm happy to reach out to companies like that because I believe in them, right? I'm not going for the company that's unknown to tell people it feels good when I flip it 10 times under camera. I want to go after knives that I know are decent knives or come from reputable people where, like River's Edge Cutlery, you don't like it, you send it back. White Mountain Knives, you don't like it, you send it back. And I look at the affiliate links because for the longest time, I felt dirty talking about them. So I just did the link tree, and I look at it as a convenience where no one ever has to use one of my affiliate links, ever. You can Google it and find it just as easy, but I try to put them in the videos, and I try to put a couple of different links to different retailers depending on who that viewer might want to buy from, if they want to use a link. But links are few and far between in terms of usage, I think. And I was guilty of that. I bought knives when I was really addicted. I would probably buy 3 or 4 a week. A lot of budget knives. This is before I got into nicer knives. But I would always forget to use affiliate links. What I wouldn't forget is to use that stupid Lefty 10 code because he is such a freaking shill that he got it into my subconscious. My first slip joint I ordered on Ambien with no memory of it until I got the confirmation email. I didn't want a slip joint. And then I looked closer and I used Lefty 10, and I figured he probably put some kind of voodoo shit on me. But yeah, I think it's great what you're doing. I think it's great that you're able to use the products. I think they're great products for one. But I'd like to find out how to get you sharpening more knives unless you've got plenty of knives to sharpen and you're just enjoying doing it, like you said, because you're doing R&D, you're able to help the community.
I mean, I've got room to sharpen people's knives. It's a matter of I don't push it because it's not, and not to sound I don't need to be doing it every day, all day. Like that's just not. It's not why I'm doing it.
Right. You've got a real gig that you do, and your knives are your hobby, right?
Yeah, this is what I do for fun, and this is. I take it serious like a job, but it's not like I'm sitting here grinding 24/7.
Right. Is it? And I know you're not doing it for money, so it really doesn't matter. But could it be profitable? I mean,
if you're willing to pump out quite a few knives, yeah. I mean, it's you got to put the time in, and you got to have the setup to do it. As far as consistency and a steady flow. Like what a lot of people end up doing is they'll go around to like local businesses, like restaurants and stuff, and they'll set up deals where they're sharpening kitchen knives for chefs.
I've heard about that.
They'll show up like on a Thursday, pick up the knives, bring them back by Friday afternoon, so that way they're ready for the weekend, and then they'll pick them up the next Thursday, and then they have different rotations for different stores, and they'll knock out 10 to 20 per restaurant, and they make a pretty good killing off of that.
And they're probably using belts, right, when they're doing kitchen knives, or do you think they're doing something that takes more time?
It depends on the person, and it also depends on what they're charging. Because if you're using a belt, I mean that's 5 minutes, and you can charge next to nothing, but you're going to get a belt edge. A stone edge is always going to be superior. It just depends on what they're willing to spend as far as the company or the individual chef.
Well, I think what's important, I think like if we were going to say, what have we learned? There are a lot of different people that sharpen knives. I'm not going to call any names because I don't have any receipts, but there are people that with fixed angle systems the way that they are, you spend a little time on it more than me, you can get probably pretty good and get people to send you their knives to sharpen. But then to say you're sharpening them on stones, when knife makers look at them and say they haven't been sharpened on stones, to me, even if the knife comes back sharp, that's not somebody I want to do business with. And Kyle, I know I've known you known you in the chat for 3 years, has it been? I mean, you're not
probably pretty close.
Yeah, 2.5, 3 years. I mean, you haven't just come in to sharpen knives. It's something like you said you love. You like sharing knowledge with the community, which I appreciate because I learned something tonight. But yeah, man.
If I get into a hobby, I go in head first. So when I start doing this, it's tons and tons of research. It's tons and tons of practice, hours. I mean, thousands of dollars spent trying to learn the craft because I want to put out the best product I possibly can.
Get as good as you can, right? And it's something probably like golf that you can continue to always improve on.
Yeah, I mean, my thing is I want every knife that comes out of here to be better than the last one.
Well, you're doing cool stuff. You've got, I think, a great partner. I would think if they ever approach you with things like sponsored content, a lot of people look at that as a dirty word. I don't look at it as a dirty word. If you're working with somebody like TS Prof and they're looking for somebody to make content for them, because like you say, the most important thing is your credibility. And you went after TS Prof because you were their customer before you ever worked with them. You love their products. So I think as long as whoever's reviewing knives honestly feels the way they claim to feel about a product, or to be as enthusiastic about it, or to be willing to recommend it, right? Because every time we recommend something or say it's approved by what I think is a good knife, it's our credibility on the line. And there are a lot of people that don't give a shit about credibility, Kyle. So keep that about you. And
the one difference I see to that, John, is with what I'm doing here. This is something I'm using the product to not only make money, but to put out better products. Unfortunately, with so many hype knives that come out every single week, it's not doing anything for anybody. That knife is not needed. But everybody in here, we're all collectors at some point, whether we're collecting budget, we're collecting mid-tier, we're collecting high-end, doesn't matter.
I take it one step farther and think that there's an addiction component. Collecting is something that we do.
Yeah, it's a dopamine hit.
It's a dopamine rush of the income.
Yeah, without a doubt.
At least for me, a recovering addict, that's kind of what my addict transitioned to. But I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, it's fine. But so what I'm saying is everyone's willing to spend all this money, $70 to $150 a week on the latest and greatest Civivi, right? If they were to, take 2-3 weeks off and either buy a nicer knife or invest that into the product that they already had, making it better, whether that be learning to sharpen themselves, sending it out to be sharpened, sending it out to be modded for, whatever they want specifically, they'd be a lot happier in the long run than they would trying to get that latest and greatest, hype knife that comes out every week. Because there's not a damn difference between something that came out now and 3 months ago or
3 years ago. I mean, there's some knives that we can say have, what would you say, technologically advancements in some sort of way, but
slightly. I mean, so minute that you're not going to tell the difference. And
my buddy, and I know this name is not always a good name in the community, but the Liang Ma Field Duty EDC is one of my favorite knives. Not one of my most expensive, but I love that knife. And my buddy, A to Z EDC, picked up a Liang Ma Eraser, a knife I didn't even know existed. It kind of looks like a long, skinny cuff, kitchen utility folder. And it is It's like a 5-year-old, 4-year-old knife. It's splendid. I mean, you look at that knife and you look at anything coming out today, and I don't know if you ever watched Professor EDC's weekly English, what's it called, Bladeosophy, where he does philosophical ponderings, which I find fascinating. He did one 2 weeks ago. Should YouTubers design knives? And it's so well thought out because Professor EDC lives in Mexico. He's Spanish. So he's seeing everything from a totally different perspective. I kind of look at it like 30,000 foot perspective. He's not in a bubble. And he's like, absolutely anybody should be able to design a knife. That's crazy to say they shouldn't. However, should you buy that knife? And his whole thing was, then he started talking about people that I'm not as aware of, Brad Zinker, Sinkovich, Rick Hinderer, and the difference in buying a knife versus buying a timeless design. And he kind of he evolves that thought in a very simplistic, limited English way that makes you go, wow, you know, that was very deep, and true. Because again, I'll be honest with you, I've got a nip slip in my pocket. I'm surprised they haven't sold out, because out of all the Devo knives, the nip was probably my favorite because it reminded me of a mini Jaeger. The nip slip, I don't like slip joints, but it's a fantastic knife. But there are other knives from more.
You said they did not sell out?
No, every variation is still available.
I thought they sold out a long time ago.
The nip slip is a slip joint version. No, the nip slip is, let me go here. They're all still in stock. Even the one I got, which is the glow carbon fiber with the black blade. Now, he did drop and sell out a bunch of Berg Blade Sweeney today, which are great knives. I traded the full size because it was too big for me and bought a small one. But so you've got the orange, you've got the purple, and then you've got the dark matter. And I'll be honest, guys, the economy fucking sucks right now. And I think a lot of people don't have the disposable income they had. This knife right here I reviewed, it looks normal. Austin sent me one just to check out. It's his exclusive. And I've always been I think one of the first 5 knives I bought was a Denim Micarta D2 Penguin liner lock. Love that knife. This is a button lock, hollow ground S90V Ultim. And I mean, it is awesome. It's such a great design.
So, but here's at the end of the day, it's a Penguin.
You're exactly right. That's all it is. That's all it is.
You're paying, I mean, nothing against Austin. That's awesome. That's cool. But you're paying the upgrade price of something you're not sure about for that much more money for a Penguin. I mean, again, you're chasing latest and greatest. I mean, like, Javon, I seriously, I don't watch knife content at all anymore. I catch lives, and like, I'm not interested in anything that's new that's coming out. Just, I'm content with where I'm at, and that's a happy place to be.
You know what? It's happened to me, not necessarily by choice, but by divine intervention. Because when I got laid off, God, it's been a long time now, because I'm just doing freelance shit on the side, digital stuff. But I'm not making money to where I can buy a bunch of knives like I was. But what it's made me do is realize what a great collection I have. And just in Tri-State, everybody says that they're supposed to be blue blocker reading glasses. They're one time because I'm an old man and I can't read shit, but they've got a purple hue to them and they look funky. So I apologize.
It's just Ray Charles glasses.
Yeah, I'm going for the merch look. But good to see you, brother. But yeah, so I don't watch a lot of knife content. And what I used to do every day is go to DLT, River's Edge Cutlery, GP Knives, Blade HQ, just to see what was coming in, and then White Mountain Knives. And I do that religiously. I mean, I spent so much time looking for the next knife, and I don't know if it was fear of missing out. I really don't. I've tried to analyze it. I think it's just pure my addiction manifesting itself into knives because I've got kind of off the chart ADHD. So I've always dove or dived into hobbies. I've dived into hobbies really deeply, but I don't stay in them for that long. For example, I got into pew-pews, picked up a bunch of pew-pews, joined the range for a year. Pew-pews all work. They don't come out anymore. Guitars was the same thing. I did that for years, but with the knives, it was going to the first show, I think meeting Shane and Dark Gravity and just a few core people that we then started venturing out to different shows and meeting the people has made it more than just a chasing of knives. And I agree. I did buy this CJRB Pyrite to have something to review. And I bought this little weird CJRB, which is kind of funky. Little button locks. But I've not bought a knife. And it's been fine. I mean, I've enjoyed it. So
once you become content and realize you've got more, we all have more than we need. I mean, to an extravagant amount. And only chase what truly makes you happy and try to keep a limit. Don't go after the dopamine. Don't fall into that.
No, I think that's a video that needs to be made because I think I know new people, I know I did. I mean, I didn't just go watch one creator. I'd see a knife I like, and then I'd go watch several videos on it that would confirm that I like that knife. Oh, Scotch, I forgot I went off. Scotch has been sitting down here because I had you on big. Do you know Scotch and things? Have y'all met Kyle?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that guy's a douchebag.
Yeah, he's been, and I'm sure Scotch has been drinking since 5.
Sorry, hold on. I'm watching watch videos. While you had me, I've been sitting backstage. I'm like, well, fuck this. I'm just going to watch.
Was your wife drinking a tea and you were drinking a Scotch at dinner?
She had water. She had water and I had Scotch.
Water with them. Okay, so she was being good.
Who's that loud asshole that likes Striders?
Oh, God. That guy's a real fucking jerk.
Hey, can you show me that Strider PT 204?
I've got 17 of them. Kyle, you won't believe what I sold today, though.
The Nightmare?
I let go of a Nightmare Grind SMF, Nightmare Grind RC. I sold some heat today.
So, Kyle, could you sharpen Nightmare Grinds pretty easily, or would you have to sit there and think about how you were going to set it up?
No, I can do them. I get a lot of complicated ones just because people don't want to tackle them, and I love that because it becomes either a challenge at first or B, a learning experience, and you have to be good quick. Like Scotch knows that the one that Satu bought off of Carco, I'm having a brain fart. What's that integral from the European guy, that massive one?
Oh,
the Dalibor. I mean, that's almost a $3,000 knife and a pretty nasty grind on it, and trying to make sure that things line up on that. Ideally, like I actually reached out to Dalibor on that knife because on the original factory grind, his bevels don't match up at the Yacote at the secondary point because it's a Tanto recurve.
$2,400, Palmer.
Shane, link in your inbox, brother. Come join us.
I reached out to Dalibor to make sure that was designed to be that way and it wasn't messed up because I didn't want to take away from the integrity of the knife.
I was going to sell an XL custom and I just couldn't. I talked myself into it and then I just couldn't do it. I held it in my hand when I got home. I said, nope.
But you wanted to move some out. That was kind of your plan, like when we talked last time, right?
I would like to get rid of like 20. So
Cole, if that you're talking about yours, then no, because it wouldn't fit on there because it'd be too short.
Blue cheese. I'll tell you, there's a chemical called it's not Viagra. It's Sildenafil, which is
Donnie, what is up?
I'm trying to think what it's called, but it makes you feel like you're 16 again.
Donnie, when my knife is ready, I really want to come to Omaha and take you out to like lunch and have a couple beers, but I'm afraid we'd probably both end up in jail.
Tri-State's got a question out to somebody who's not answering it. Yeah, Carco and I started talking yesterday, and we ended up sending out a couple of knives. We might be trading a knife or two.
Donnie, make sure you get beers that have a covered top.
I loved watching Shane grind away last night. Well, he was online. He was on till like 3 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, Donnie, there's a Scotch bar down in Dundee somewhere. I vaguely remember it. I can't remember. They serve food too. I can't remember what it's called now. The Dundee Dell, maybe.
I'm Googling something to see if it's still in business. Rogue Manor, Eureka Springs. Yep. All right. So when I got married, when I was still drinking, but I did get a beautiful baby girl out of it, so I'm not going to complain. But we eloped to Eureka Springs, Arkansas. That's where her family's from, Arkansas. And my buddy, who's a Scotch drinker with me, and his girlfriend were the only people that went with us. And this place is called the Rogue Manor. And the back side of it is underground. And there's they've got windows that look out into these springs.
Donnie.
Dude, this place, let me get to the Scotch. This place is insane. I got so freaking hammered. Trying to find some more pictures of the building.
Dude, it's going to cost you a fortune to ship Dave knives tomorrow.
Are they going to weigh a shitload?
Yeah, his T1, a Rogovitz, and a Strider.
See that rock growing up under that? Not growing, but under the porch. You look out the windows and you're looking at rocks. It is the coolest Scotch bar, and I think they have their own Scotch. Let's see.
Javon, where do you put all that liquor being 63 pounds?
I don't drink, dude. I quit drinking
No, where did you?
Oh, gosh, man. It always went straight to my head. I mean, I never got a gut. I was always real active. I haven't been doing it in the last year, but I've always been like a distant skateboarder. I've just got a high metabolism, but I drank just usually whiskey, whiskey or variations of whiskey, and the cocaine kept the weight off.
Cocaine.
Yeah. I mean, you drink a lot, but you don't eat as much. So
does anybody need a nice guy pry bar?
What does it look like?
I bought it because people were bitching at me about prying with my knives at work, but it's got this weird pocket clip that doesn't have any real retention in it. It'll fall out of my fucking pocket.
Really? Sildenafil, Lee Wolf's got it. That's it, my friend. And when I first went, and I don't mind because we're all friends, but when I first went to the doctor and said, hey, man, because I was
Joe
in a relationship for the first time ever sober.
Palmer Conley, I'm going watch shopping tomorrow.
So when I went to
the Seamaster, I don't want to hear about it, Scotch.
What?
If it's not a Seamaster, I don't want to hear about it.
I have a Seamaster. I don't need two.
Which one do you have?
I have a Seamaster.
So when I got my first prescription for Sildenafil and tried to go to Walgreens and filled it, it was $75 a hard-on. $75 a pill. So my AA sponsor told me, dude, you need to go to this Indian pharmacy. And there's this place, I can send anybody the link, but they have just like you buy your prescriptions at Costco, they come from a different Indian pharmacy or something, but they have those same.
Paul Mills, I think brand new. I think I paid. Sorry, it's Javon. I think I paid $200
dude.
for it. Shoot
I'm
me
just
an
talking
offer.
about, hold on.
Shoot me an offer. It's brand new. I just opened it up. I'll even give you a piece of gum.
To hold it in your pocket because the retention's so shitty?
Well, I should probably try it, but it's so wide. Like I've seen his pictures, and it just hangs in his pocket like that. But dude, on a job site, it's gonna fucking fly out.
Okay, speaking of bad retention, I want to show y'all something, and I want your advice.
Palmer, I'm gonna try and schmooze over my my
Eddie,
Rolex.
I'm bringing you up in just a second. See my McNeese? It's got a Lynch short clip on it. It's supposed to have the longer clip, but it goes in my pocket fine. It just doesn't have, I think if it was longer, because it's kind of in that gap. Is that problematic to you?
Oh, I think he said it caught. I guess I paid $100 for it. So shoot me an offer.
Tri-State, I would love to check it out, buddy.
Your first one costs more. Yeah, I think this was $100.
And then Casey sent me. Let me make me small and bring Edgy up.
Palmer, I'm gonna go look at IWC I can't pronounce longing. It's not longings, longines, and some Tudor and an Omega.
Let me kill that. Why is that?
And a Kiss S.
Scotch.
Huh?
A black bay would be pretty good.
I do like the Black Bay. I don't want another dive watch, but like a Black Bay is different enough, especially like a GMT instead of the dive version. But we'll see.
Check it out.
Depends on how much you want to
I
go.
like this because of the color, but they also make it gray.
I like this live stream though. It's got a couple of my favorite people and Kyle Kuzma.
Check out that new Lynch machined Spyderco clip.
I was curious about that. I'm wanting. I've got a Mannix 2 that I'm going to bougie up, and I'll probably get that for it.
This clip is a game changer. It's 2 pieces. I don't know if you've seen it. It's got the little
waiting. I'm on the list, Palmer. That's why I'm going to go play the AD game tomorrow. Maybe
you mount it in your Mannix.
Something else from them.
And then it comes with 2 little screws that you screw back here. And dude, this thing works great.
Good deal.
I tried to get him, I reached out to him just to tell him I liked his stuff and I had ulterior motives. I asked him if he'd ever thought about making a clip for this, the Infraction, the MIDI Marauder. Medford makes another clip, but I would think that would be a clip that Lynch could make and probably sell a few of because it goes on, I think, 4 or 5 knives. This little thin.
I always thought that clip was a little understated.
I know.
If you do a cartwheel, it'll fall out of your pocket.
I just can't. I know I'm going to spend more going to an authorized dealer, but it just makes me feel more comfortable.
Dude,
I don't want to buy on the secondary.
In terms of like Lynch's or new knives? Are you talking a lot?
Knives, I'll do it all day because I can, the fake. I know who to buy, but like watches, I'm not good enough not to get taken. What was I going to show? Who?
I'm glad I don't get into mechanical watches.
I used your tool you sent me to put my new pocket clip on.
But I think that uses the same screw pattern. So I think you could do clips that would fit a lot of knives. Ooh, your Karambit. That's your little Spyderco?
I love this thing, dude. I haven't been this excited about a knife in so long, but I
know. 5.
What'd you do to your pointer finger, brother? Did you grind it?
What I like about Omega is I can go in there and they'll give me a discount.
Those are old injuries, John. I'm just putting medicine on them and covered them, trying to get them to heal up.
That's all you can do, buddy. If it wasn't
that big burn I had on the tip of my finger that looked like a vagina, the labia finally fell off. So,
did you rub it? Did you tip her out of her canoe?
Yeah, it looks a little better, but dude, my hands are so sore. Dude, I've worked so hard these past 2 weeks, ground so much, my hands just hurt. All 10 fingers, everything about my hands are sore and hurting. And
dude, your work ethic is fucking strong. I mean, I don't know if you were on caffeine or if you were just on knowing you had to get it done, but you were one task after another last night. I finally quit chatting, but I sat and listened.
Yeah.
And it just, dude, what I found amazing, because I was talking to the guys earlier tonight about, I almost went portrait because you get so many more views.
Dude, that video got over 6,000 views.
Look at, when you get monetized again.
Yeah.
So I do live streams every week, a couple, 3-4 hours. I did one that was a portrait stream.
Yeah.
Everybody hated it. It got something like 14,000 views and made like $13.75.
Yeah.
You know, the closest in ad revenue any other live streams made, $3.76.
Yeah.
So that portrait, and what you had last night that was different is you had people coming in that got interested in what you were doing.
And yeah, there was a few of them.
You were converting people, and we met Mr. Tahoe, who grew up across from Alabama A&M, who's been out in Tahoe since 91.
Corvette guy, he stayed till it was over. There were several of them. I didn't look
Javon,
at analytics.
that Tahoe guy, he's
Yeah.
got 100,000 subs.
Does he really?
Yeah.
I was worried because when he started talking about he cuts videos and stuff, I was like, oh, this guy's trying to sell me a service or something. But no, he was.
Dude, did you read his comments where he's like, I just like to see people making things with their hands. I mean,
very positive.
Very, very positive guy. And
I
those
didn't need to read much of it. That's the only thing about those vertical lives, guys. When I turn, it's even harder for me to read the chat. I nearly have to have the phone in my face, and so I apologize. I know you guys are great at entertaining yourselves in the chat while I'm doing mindless shit, but
I think they were waiting for you to lose a finger.
I think that's what it is. Yeah, they're waiting to see me get hurt again next.
They use Shane's videos for OSHA training.
Explained to you last night, and Aries was in here earlier. I don't know if you talked to Scott, but that's also how Luck does his. See how it's kind of melted up?
Yeah. And look, man, I still have some steps to take to progress my knife making. I'm making Kydex sheaths, and I've told everybody, if you buy a knife from me with a Kydex sheath, it will be something safe to hold your knife and don't have that pop off and fly through the air action. I have zero passion in making a perfect Kydex sheath. I'm really just making them so that people have something to keep it in until they can get a leather one.
Did you ever try to reach out to Tim Kell? He wasn't somebody that ghosted you, was he?
No.
Do you mind if I reach out to Suzanne tomorrow? Because she replied to me.
This is the problem, John. That would be a whole nother logistics nightmare because I would have to ship him every knife because no two of mine are identical. Everything T. Kell does, that's all machine made.
I know.
Bolt them together. So if you do that, you can have the sheaths pre-made that will fit every knife. But mine have to be made to that knife because every one of them is slightly different than the last.
Well, maybe does Brian know a lot about Kydex? Because I think you could have a passion for Kydex. I think Kydex is something. If I show you Jason's first Kydex sheaths, they were horrible, and they're still getting better. But
bazooka gum.
Yeah, that's gonna last for 17 seconds.
I know.
Pisses me off. The best flavored gum in the world.
I don't remember it being this hard.
Yeah.
But I know you can on the big ones, but he does the little tacos.
Yeah.
And
now, I prefer the tacos. It's just those Palmer asked, and that was a very good question, by the way, Palmer. That was a informative, educated question. He asked why I wasn't doing tacos, but on the bigger sheaths, the bigger knives, I feel like the odds are people are going to carry them in the standard on their belt configuration. And if that's the case, then you need holes on both sides.
Or lay on your pack. And it's good to have holes on both sides.
Don't give Palmer credit for that. Somebody else asked first.
Who asked first?
Somebody else. Palmer just repeated it. Don't give him credit.
Can you see those lines at the top of the Kydex?
Yeah.
That's the jimps. So if you've got a knife with jimps up there, he learned, and he didn't know this at first, but he learned that you could put your retention, your click that you were looking for. And then he also puts it.
Hold on, John. What causes the retention? So something has to be pushing that spine and those jumps into that kydex firmly enough to cause the retention.
Right.
And that's the edge.
Right. So that's not a good thing. There's another. Hold on. Let me show you something different.
I don't want.
Wait, or Shane, you froze. Is Kyle still here?
Yes, sir.
Why don't you show us your face instead of this weird crotch shot?
Shane, I don't know if that's what's pushing it up there, because if you look at it,
Kyle's diddling himself.
this is, I mean, you can tell ugly sheaths are nothing new.
Right.
Have a good night, Donnie. Tomorrow's going to be awesome.
In order to get your retention off the spine, that means something has to be pushing against that edge.
It's right here. It's watch this. When it goes in, this little choil is what's pushing it up. And this one's not as locked. The ones that lock the best are if you've got, and you don't use bolts, you use pins.
Right.
But if you've got something recessed, or like with, I don't have a TCAL out here, but his G10 is wavy enough to where he can fold it around the G10 and it locks it in.
Yeah, I had that experience with one of my knives that I did the texturing on. I ran the handle up a little, the sheath up a little further, and it locks onto that. That is nice.
And I don't know how.
You're at SFR or SRF.
I don't know.
When's the Self-Reliance Festival?
I'm leaving in 4 hours.
Oh, shit.
I slept today, so I'm good.
And Shane, the 23rd and 24th is Nashville.
Oh, I'm going to get pictures and video.
Are you going to exhibit in Nashville?
No.
Are you going to go up there with you, right? I'm not going to have any money. I'm not buying shit.
It depends on how well SRF goes. If I come back from SRF with all those knives, no, I'm not going anywhere.
You're not going to come back with those knives, dude.
I'm going to be in a financial burden.
So here's a very tight retention sheath.
Yeah.
We will make fun of what it is, but it locks in right on that first bolt.
Yeah.
So if you look, right there.
Yeah, you can just countersink a little divot in the ricasso for it. So there's lots of things you can do, and I will get better at them. But I'm just being open and honest with people who are buying from me right now. I'm trying to perfect the knife.
Charge him $50 for Kydex.
No, my Kydex isn't very good. Ask
But
Paul.
you wanted to buy leather. You even said that last night. Say, guys, I'll make you Kydex, but it's going to be $50 and you're not really going to like it. Me personally, I look for Kydex for all my knives, because except for my this is the only knife I carry as a regular sheath, a leather sheath. Because to me, Kydex just works better. Right. And I've noticed it's just my house.
Yeah, I show you my leather sheath
is not a good thing to do.
For my heirloom
leather I've got.
For my heirloom knife.
Is Terry in here? I'm wondering if Terry can how hard it would be to add a ulti clip to this.
Where's pocket metal at?
I don't know if there's one, but a couple.
He's hopefully going to come in. Show me that again, Shane.
For bedtime.
That's my slip from Terry. Oh, and
I got to get up and ship 1,000 knives in the morning.
I would love to be able to put ulti clip on this.
How much space do you have? Do you have enough room to get a rivet in there?
It looks like you do.
You'd want to put it lower.
Right.
Yeah. Yep.
It looks like there might be just enough room to get one in there. I don't know if it's going to impede the threads, though. I don't know if it's going to cut through the threading.
Did you see Duty's video this morning? He got some pretty cool news.
Who?
Duty.
Yeah, what was that? I didn't see it.
He, he's been making slips.
Yeah.
And he made those slips for the nip slip, a few of them, because the slips sold out. No nip slips have sold out. And he started making strops. Well, he's been doing them custom for people. And it's with his job, with his videos, it's a lot. It went net because the strop business is kind of taking off.
Yeah.
Well, he and Austin got to talking, and he's going to sell exclusively through Austin. So for him, he'll get an order of X, get paid for them, give them to Austin.
I'll tell you one thing I learned about that this week. Kyle and I was talking about it earlier. There's still definitely a different, like when I set out to make Scotch and Things as knife, my passion was through the roof, and I feel like the end result shows that. But like this batch of knives that I was making that aren't for somebody, I'm taking them to just sell. I'm not saying they're not good knives, but the passion is different. Like, you know, with Steve's, I wanted to really show out and make this badass knife that he has no idea what he's going to do with.
It's the reverse of why we keep knives that we buy from our friends or we trade from our friends, because they're sentimental. So when you're making a knife for somebody, I would think that you're.
That's all I was getting at was I didn't enjoy making a batch of knives for inventory to take and sell somewhere near as much as I have making for people. Like, a lot of people don't know this. With Paul Mills, he just got his knife from me recently. The first knife I made for Paul was all the way to Kyle. Kyle had already sharpened it, and I called him. I was like, "Hey, man." Well, actually, Kyle called me because he discovered an issue, and I was like, "Do not ship Paul that knife." So I went back and made him a whole other one because the passion is just different when you're shipping it to somebody that you know.
Sure. Well, and hopefully, and I feel like you'll come back with no knives and a pocket full of cash, and maybe that will give you not the same type of passion, but enough motivation to plan for those shows.
For, dude, is to progress, is to better my.
Put it back into what you're doing. I know that's what I mean, but unfortunately, it takes it to do it. You know, just
my goal by January, not this coming January, but January next year, is to have my own heat treat oven, and it's not just for my benefit. I really want to do some kind of challenge and have everybody in the chat go on Alpha Knife Supply, buy you a chunk of steel, cut it out, shape it, send it to me. I'll heat treat it for you. I want everybody to be able to, that's ever wanted to make a knife, to be able to make one. And that's always the biggest hurdle is, well, where would I get it heat treated? I mean, we all know you can do 1095 with a bag of charcoal and a blow dryer, but people aren't passionate about 1095. So,
Shane, if you're serious, I can't wait. The first knife I make, I'm going to send you to heat treat, and you get to keep it, and it's going to be a dick and balls.
Hell yeah. I'll hang that on the wall. So
the balls are going to be the guard.
I'm going to make you a set, like a sword.
I've actually got 3 people right now that have offered to buy me.
Neil McKenzie, what time is Maddie going live? When they go early, that's going to be in an hour or 2 hours? An hour? Let me look. Let me see if I can find it. I don't want to step on them, but fuck them. They're at, I want to watch it because
Dave's T-bone is so much more broken in than mine, even after like 2 weeks. This fucking knife is just...
Well, Paul, that's one thing about this show. The reason why I'm not confident is because nobody from this community will be there. These are all... I've got to know some of them in the SOE live chat, but these are strangers, you know, so... And I don't know if their passion is the same as mine as far as heat treats and high quality steels and all that stuff. So I don't know. There's a lot of questions.
There's going to be some wannabes there, and then there's going to be some legit pipe hitters there.
And Shannon, your knives, you don't need people to know you to appreciate your knives. I know it seems that that's been a big help, but seeing what I've been seeing you do, it's amazing. 910 Arizona time. So it says here on YouTube, and y'all are going to have to help me with military time. Some of you that served, and I do thank you for that. 2310.
1110.
1110 Central Time. So an hour. So we got an hour. We're good.
Shane, you got a better chance of selling out if they don't know you.
God damn it, I keep forgetting he's here.
He comes in with a smart ass comment.
This fucking voice from the heavens.
I'm just watching his right knee. I can tell he's there, and he's not even.
Slide forward a little bit so we can get a view of that package. I mean, it's just right there.
At least that dumbass Nick Shabazz, when he does interviews, you can see the back of his head.
Don't tempt me, Ah!
Oh shit! Oh
love
shit!
No, I've
Well,
got
you
his
remember
address. I
Kyle
might just
telling
road
me-
trip up to his house sometime. Surprise, motherfucker!
Yeah, I know. I could sell. I've got a few of them that are. I know I can sell when I get home.
Gabe says you'll see a lot of people selling supplies and equipment there as well.
Yeah.
Hey, Gabe, welcome, brother.
Well,
So
that's the thing is, this is not a knife show. It's a homesteading, prepping. Shit hits the fan. Anti-government. It's that kind of show.
Ask
Just your
John,
basic. Just your
ask
basic.
John where the fuck my packages are, man. I ordered shit.
I
I know. I would never either, but I ordered shit that they sent out in their email that was ready to ship, and fuck me.
Yeah.
It's been 6 months.
What I love about John, he has the worst customer service on the planet, and he doesn't care. If you're like, hey, dude, I ordered something 2 months ago and I hadn't got it yet, and he's like, well, fuck off. I'll send you.
All right.
So,
You want to see? Hey, all right. You want to see some
Who's
Six
that?
Striders?
John who?
John Willis owns
Okay.
You want to see some Six Striders?
Yes.
Ask him to see his personal collection.
Oh, he's got a huge collection. I've heard.
He's got stuff that's never even seen the market. Some
Right. Yeah, him and Mick are.
fucking banana.
How old of a guy is Mick? Is he Rick Hender's age, or is he older or younger?
I'm not sure. I think Mick.
60s?
I had an
Late
impression he's
50s?
a
He's
little.
the dad, right, or is he the son, or is he the uncle? I know there were two of them that broke up, or were they not even related?
They weren't related.
Okay.
Yeah. A lot of the people that are going to be there are, like he said, legit.
We'll get it, man. Usually that stuff, when you order it on a Friday, it ships Monday. And I'm just like, whatever, I forgot about it. One day I'll get an email and you're just like,
Is
ooh.
55 door? I got you. And Maryphone's probably not Maryphone. Is that his name?
Dude, Scotch, I ordered a Coyote Tan Fupa and waited almost 2 months for it. Like,
But
what
they've
is
been
fucking
really,
going
they
on?
must be swat. I mean, but
What's
like,
SOE?
like they're like, hey, here's what we're building. You buy it, it ships next day.
Yeah.
What the fuck ever.
Marisol, you're not.
Drink the Kool-Aid. Marisol, I've got a lot of money in knives. I've got a lot of money in SOE gear.
Yeah.
I've got a lot of money in SOE gear. But it's because this shit lasts
Dude.
forever.
I didn't even know who SOE was. Scotch was kind enough to give me a EDC belt from them. And I didn't even realize that it was an SOE. And then I discovered SOE, and Scotch was like, yeah, that's who made the belt I gave you. And now I'm addicted, dude. I watch nearly every night. And sometimes I misquote when I say that John's an asshole. It's not that he's an asshole. He helps out so many people.
He brags about being an asshole. He's so easy to talk to, though.
It's just his live stream, and you're going to talk about what he wants to fucking talk about, or you can fuck off. You know, he don't put up with any bullshit. He don't need subscribers.
He doesn't. He doesn't need your money.
No.
I'm going to pin this to the top.
But how many people like that you know, like you can have an email conversation with?
Right.
You know, it's like, hey, man, check, you know, I got a question. And if you're civil, he's fucking completely civil.
Yeah, he did more for me than I will even than I would like to talk about. But I needed that personality. I needed
you can
that get the fuck up, you pussy, and do something.
He's the one who got me into Strider, so you can give him a hug for me when you see him.
Shane, civil has a different meaning besides the war.
You can hug him for me and then kick him in the nuts and say,
Kyle's just sitting back.
The hug is from Steve.
Fingers.
The nuts is from Steve's wife.
All right, let me throw this banner up here with Kyle's.
I was all ready to sell one of my custom XLs. I said I was going to do it.
When you say XL, what's an XL? I'm an idiot.
Extra large.
Oh, gotcha.
It's upstairs.
That's a man-sized knife, John. You can't
I
have it.
held it in my hand. I did sell Dave one, but not a custom. And I looked at it. I'm like, man, there's a handful of these in the world. I can't fucking do it.
Hey, Steve, did I tell you what I found out about my booth tomorrow?
Mm-mm.
It's in the building.
No shit.
Yeah, I'm in the SOE building.
At least you won't die of heat stroke.
Right. Air conditioning, bathroom, everything right there. There's one other knife maker that's going to be there, and he's outside. So at least there's some separation.
Just just FaceTime me tomorrow, and let John walk you through his Strider collection. And he's got something just Striders, but
right.
I hope you're having a blast, buddy. We're going to get out of here in time for y'all's live. I've been watching y'all sit around. That's what y'all have been doing. I mean, I've been looking for action shots, and y'all are just sitting the fuck around.
Dude.
And Ethan's just staring at his phone.
It's because Stevie's so high he can't stand up.
Well, Snuzz was asleep. Or Snuzz was a weekend at Bernie's. You couldn't tell.
Snuzz is not Snuzz anymore. He's Snooze News.
Snooze News?
Yeah. Every time I see him, he's asleep.
I love it. But that just means everybody's chill and they're in their element. And
if I was on a tenth of what Snuzz was, I'd be in a coma.
Yeah. You're right.
I'm trying to think. I saw Sharif and I saw who else was with those guys? Ethan Ruins, one of my favorite little sarcastic fuckers. Who else? Anyway, I know you guys are having a blast.
This will be in my pocket tomorrow and every day for the foreseeable future. I've always wanted a karambit, and then when he told me he had a Spyderco karambit, I was like, "What?" And who sharpened this, by the way, Snot Rag? Because this thing is razor sharp, man. I thought I was going to send it to Kyle right off the bat, but
I got to find that. Said Stevie put it up of Ethan? Let's see. This one here. This is the one I like, where he's just chinning out and checking out his phone. That's the Ethan I know. And that's not a recliner, by the way. That's probably a regular chair.
That's not normal posture, is it?
No.
Josh Branson, you're 100% right. But in Snuzz's eyes, we all have that little.
Palmer, who posted the one I just showed, or is there another Ethan brutal shot? Because I'm up for it. I'm game. And then we got. Let me share this with you. I think everybody will be familiar with this gentleman here.
Well, Snot Rag, you did a great job because that thing is hair shaving sharp, man. There he is. There's Snooze News.
Look at him.
I love that.
What's that? What's that in his hand? Is that a cart?
I don't know.
I think it is. I think it's a cart that's just sitting there, and he's like, "Oh, night night." So Katie's there, and there's the one, the only, Gentle Giant Satisfaction.
That recliner will never be the same.
No, part Sasquatch for sure. And I saw a picture of.
I hope they bought the furniture insurance.
Yeah.
I saw a picture of Eli, and I couldn't tell if they were dropping him off at a babysitter or if Eli made the trip.
Kyle, if you break it, you just have to hide it like we did the toilet I broke in Atlanta.
Lucky you didn't break the floor, too.
This is funny. Check this out.
I broke that toilet clean loose from the floor flange.
Look at that. What's that look like?
What?
It's a treadmill, but what does it look like that Stevie's showing you on the wall?
Like a smoking joint?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
I think it's a treadmill, but anyway, they're having a blast. And I know Zach and Big Red are on their way out there or out there.
I can tell you, if you go to any blade shows with Stevie and them, dude, it is very, very chill. They're not in a hurry to get anywhere. They don't have an itinerary. That's a very chill house to be at.
Hey, this will make your prepper feel good. Can you see that?
See what?
You're streaming to one person on Rumble, dude.
Oh. I wonder who it is.
I don't know.
That's
It's
so
Javon's
weird.
all
Though,
the count.
seeing all those people in my live stream last night and not knowing who any of them were, and the trolls just pour in, dude. There's a guy's like, "You look like a liberal," and I was like, "What about me looks like a liberal? I'm in a shop working in the middle of the night making something."
And he was just they come in to talk shit. And what's funny is a lot of those people that were talking shit were giving you love afterwards. And when I did it and had trolls come in, I was having to just ban people just because they were spammy. Because it's kids. You think about it. Who's up?
I know how much you like to talk about what other people are doing on YouTube, but I want to cover something for all those people out there that are shit talking Cletus McFarlane and Tim Kennedy and all them for making content out of what they're doing in North Carolina. Well, what the fuck are you doing? I don't care if they're filming it and making content. I don't care if they make money off of it, dude. They're up there
educating. Who are we talking about? I don't know what you're talking about.
It was mostly directed at Cletus McFarlane because he had just purchased a helicopter. And then that hurricane happened in North Carolina. Well, he took his helicopter and he was flying in food and water and insulin and flying people out of situations. And a bunch of people online are like, he's just doing this for the attention to get more subs, for YouTube revenue, blah, blah, blah.
How much revenue do you need to pay for a tank of fucking helicopter gas?
Right. But my point is, they're sitting in their basement complaining about these people getting attention for what they're doing up there. Well, what are you doing? People love to badmouth Tim Kennedy every time they get a chance. That dude's spending his money. They're raising money too, but he's spending his time and money and going to catch no telling what kind of diseases from being up there. And it just it pisses me off that people doing nothing want to.
That's exactly right.
Yeah. But you see who is doing it. It's just normal everyday people are fixing the roads and
well,
doing.
You were asking last night about when somebody like you could go up there with a chainsaw. I mean, so it's.
They're saying right this minute they've got enough boots on the ground chainsaw guys in most places.
What's up, Brent?
Appreciated. He said, but what we need more than anything are EMTs and helicopters. Helicopter pilots.
Cletus McFarlane is from Omaha, Nebraska.
Is he really?
Yeah.
I'm damn proud of that dude, man.
There's still a shit ton of people missing, and they're not even talking about that.
There are. Did y'all see?
I
watched
confiscating supplies from those people.
Yeah. Yeah, they're talking about how Homeland Security or not FEMA has stopped by and be like, "We're here. We're gonna get you taken care of." And that was 4 days ago. And they hadn't seen them.
They can't manage.
Turn Javon's
get the mail to you.
Don't worry.
Yeah.
Miles going to give you $715.
Yeah.
Or is it $750?
Yeah.
Yeah, that quote was that made me
floated down the fucking river. We'll take care of you.
So here's $750 to get you by. And they're not even doing anything about the gas stations charging $12 a gallon for gas.
That's a federal offense.
They're not doing anything about it though.
But here's a problem too. What are they going to do when they get the $750? Because there's nothing to buy. Everything's out of stock.
Yeah, that's useless.
Okay, I didn't even realize this is. Or mind you, I've been on the road a week, but I was scrolling through Instagram late one of the nights. That's
hilarious.
And fucking Winkler Knives posted something on Instagram, and it was just a picture, and I'm like, it's just got out of this, just got back to the hotel, out of the shower. I'm tired. I'm scrolling. I'm God damn, that dude is dedicated, man. His workshop even has dirt floors.
Yeah.
That dude's hardcore. I'm oh no, that's fucking. He's showing all the mud that came in from the hurricane. I was holy shit,
dude. I was still married. It was probably about 7 or 8 years ago. We had a tornado that came through Huntsville, and it hit the power station.
I'm on stream. Blades on a budget. Post that. Blades on budgets comment. That is happening everywhere, guys. And y'all want to act like it's not a big deal. That is a fucking huge deal. They're already here.
Yes, absolutely, and they've been here. That's how they're taking over the country by buying real estate. That is crazy.
Yeah. It was the same way in Hawaii, dude. As soon as those people lost everything,
What the fuck did Oprah have to do with that? Didn't Oprah and The Rock have something to do with that shit too?
They raised a bunch of money that nobody knows where it went. Nobody got it.
You know, Oprah's getting drug into the Diddy shit.
Of course she is, dude. And it doesn't have anything to do with her being black. It has to do with her being rich. All those people are fucking.
It's fucked up, dude. It's totally fucked up.
Yeah, and people wanting to say that you can't even involve Justin Bieber and blame him. That he was a child.
He was
You're blaming Justin Bieber.
My mom is all upset because she's a big Usher fan, and she said, "I can't believe Usher did that." And I was like, "Mom, Usher was given custody to Diddy. Usher's a victim before he was a offender. If he was an offender, you know." And there's a place that comes where you have to say, okay, Diddy's dad was a gangster. Diddy was a gangster. Diddy held shit over people. Were these people that were doing these horrible things doing it by choice?
What I want to know is why the hell is Javon's mom worried about Usher?
My mom falls in these weird ass.
Where do you think Javon got his fucking love of internet drama?
Yeah.
Exactly.
On the budget, man. Another good point there.
My mom doesn't know how algorithms work. She doesn't understand that if you click on something and you read it, that you're going to get fed that shit. And now she thinks that she's getting all the details. I'm like, Mom, read the source. When you click on it, read where it's coming from.
Your dad has dementia, right?
Yes.
But your mom does not.
My mom plays tennis 4 times a week. She's German. She drinks daily, has drank daily for 80 years, 75 years, 70 years. She's in great shape. She's a champ.
Is she club champ of the Tennis Centennial Club?
Blade's on a budget. Another good point.
See her and her doubles crew play tennis. I think if you total their ages, they're like 360, and they move slow, man. But they hit the ball.
They've recently discovered a huge lithium deposit in that area, John.
And your mom's single, right, Javon?
None of that shit's going to get fixed.
And she's kind of wealthy.
They're going to declare it. They're going to declare it unsafe, so that people can't build their homes back there, so that the rich people can buy it because there's lithium in the ground.
And they'll mine it.
Yep. Yeah. You can kiss Asheville, North Carolina goodbye, as you know it.
I was telling this to Shane the other day. My mom's cousin was up here visiting and just was driving back there from Asheville. So they didn't stay up here longer for things they cleared out down there. And as they were driving back some of the country roads, they were actually seeing bodies still stuck in trees.
Yeah, no
one had recovered yet.
I watched On 3's video today, and he was talking about a family, a single mom and her kids that were missing. They found her, and the way they found her was they followed the bears. The bears were climbing up in the trees eating them. So,
oh man,
they found them.
What's the name of that knife maker who Melissa Backwoods did the video about?
Yeah, it's hard to watch.
It's tragic.
Yeah.
Has news? I mean, I don't think
is it just that they haven't been able to get in touch with his wife, or do they think she was swept away? Or
they haven't been able to find her, which means if they were both there together, and all of a sudden she's not there, it's probably not good.
Yeah.
And to have and who would have thought? I mean, I don't follow storm tracks because we're in Alabama, so we're desensitized by tornadoes, hurricanes. They're bad too, but I wouldn't have thought it would have done so much damage in North Carolina.
Well, what happened when we were on vacation, we were in the what's that? Fucking tourist trap? Yeah, but what's the
Hilton Head?
Gatlinburg?
Yeah.
Was there something that happened there?
That's right close to Ashland. I mean, so they would have gotten.
I didn't think it was that close enough to get to the coast, but I guess I'm looking at the map.
Well, Asheville's not close to the coast.
No, see,
Asheville's inland.
When storms go inland and they're carrying all that moisture and all that storm force wind.
Like my wife said, like a dam because of the storm, like a dam broke and like Gatlinburg was underwater. I don't know.
I don't know the details on Gatlinburg.
Yeah.
It's horrible. The news doesn't talk about it much. I mean, all they're talking about is the shit going on over in wherever the fuck.
Well, the Blue Ridge Parkway is actually shut down indefinitely.
One of the most beautiful drives on the East Coast.
What's that? Blue Ridge Parkway?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And through Asheville. What is it? What's that? Is it the Biltmore?
Yeah. The Biltmore Village is destroyed. It all flooded. Like 8 feet of water. They haven't said that the Biltmore was hurt, but the village, in other words, all of the
$1 million houses. Yeah.
That are around it. All that. I saw video of that. That's all underwater, or was all underwater. Yeah.
That's just so tragic. I mean, you know, nature's real shit.
Is it nature?
Yeah, I mean, my dude.
Is that what happened?
I would think.
I mean, we know there was a hurricane. We know the government has admitted to cloud seeding as far back as the Vietnam War. 3 days of heavy rain in Black Rock is going to make trillions of dollars off this. I'm not that big a conspiracy theorist. I'm not saying it was created, but it'd be a good time to seed them clouds and keep that water falling. I don't know.
Well, I'll tell you, the older I get, the more skeptical I get about any goddamn thing that anybody almost in a suit tells me.
Yeah.
It doesn't even have to be really a politician.
You have to have a mental defect to even desire power. So it doesn't matter who you're voting for, what side you pick. If you want to be in a place of power, there's probably something evil about you to begin with.
Right. But do you think, and I'm sure a percentage of them do, but I do believe that there are a percentage of people who want to make a difference. They start in the state and then they become corrupted, because I don't think you can be a good politician. I don't think they will let you stay in politics if you don't.
You're more effective locally anyways.
Right.
Sure.
That's why I said I've stopped worrying about it. My wingspan is about 74 inches. So that's a little over 6. I'm worrying about this 6-foot circle right now. And when I get that perfect, I'm going to expand it to about 12 feet. And when I get that perfect, I'm going to expand it until it covers the whole piece of property that I live on. And when I get that perfect, I may expand beyond that, but I probably never will. We all need to concentrate on this 6-foot circle. You know, we're all sitting around with things wrong with us, and parts of our life are in shambles, and we're worried about some rich, evil politicians in Washington. It's a waste of our time.
It's
a 6-foot circle. Isn't that the size of your hat, Shane?
Yeah.
That's the neck girth.
It's the girth of his dong.
Yeah.
But no, you're exactly right. I mean,
right back.
I don't even think that the politicians run politics. I think they're all puppets, and I think they all get cush jobs after their deal. And it's just a fucking game. You know, it's just the system is gamed.
They all leave office with millions more than they got there with.
Oh,
think
yes.
about though, John, if you were in charge of something and they walked up and laid a bill on your desk and you looked at it, and let's say in your private life you own an oil company, you look and they're like, oh, we're going to start taxing oil companies 50%. Well, that's going to cost me billions of dollars over my lifetime. Are you going to sign that bill? Hell no, you're not. Self-preservation is going to stop you from doing that, even if it was the right thing to do.
For your constituents.
It's just human nature, man. They're just, even for themselves and their constituents.
And I agree with you that it's human nature, but it's not the way it should be. I mean, and I know that's just idealism, but if your the area you represent benefits hugely from this bill, and usually bills are so jacked up. The bill could be for relief aid to North Carolina, but it's got so much shit in there
Yeah,
that
they'll include. Oh, and at the same time, for this relief aid for North Carolina that we want to get passed, on page 47 is a. We're also going to ban Russian ammo from being imported. They do
Like
they,
the recent border bill.
yeah,
They gave very
they
little to the
get
border.
in
They
there.
gave money to Ukraine.
And then they're like, the Republicans won't pass this. This is to help. They won't pass it because all the bullshit you added to it. Every bill should just be on that topic. But
I agree. To add all that shit in there, and that's what Pelosi and them, and I'm not saying her or whatever, whoever the Republican guy is, I don't hear about him as much, but they are sliding that shit in there. Those really, I guess you'd call them contentious little major policy changers in with something that everybody needs to get. And I don't see why.
Well, that way when it doesn't pass, then they can point their finger at the evil politician that didn't vote for it. You probably didn't vote for it because of some bullshit that you had added into it, whether it was, men can use women's bathrooms, or you have to get the pokey stabby to renew your driver's license. That's all they're doing all day, every day is trying to sneak these rules into
chip away from our liberties.
Right.
And the one
less laws, more happiness.
And I'll talk about this on the members live tomorrow if I remember, but I probably won't because it's not going to do me anything except get me banned. So anyway, but yeah, I think the whole firearm grab is going to reach fever pitch. I think you're going to see a lot more horrible shit and wonder why it happened.
But you know why the people of Asheville, North Carolina, as tragic as all this, you know why they're going to be okay though? In the end, they're going to be okay because they're going to fix this shit themselves because they're that kind of people.
They're resilient.
If this happened in Los Angeles, the death toll would be for months after. But you're right; those are resilient people who are already out there fixing things and helping one another.
And they're going to be people from neighboring states helping too. I mean, it's just, and I don't think you have that everywhere. I know you do because I know Thrasher goes and fights fires in other states.
When we had that tornado outbreak here, the most deadly tornado outbreak in the history of the United States that swept through Alabama, I went to help for that, and I was really shocked like how many people from out of state showed up. Then I got to noticing that they're all out there, with shovels and chainsaws and all, but they've all got guns on their hip. And I thought, why are all these people have guns doing this cleanup work? And then I get to talking to them, dude. They're all like, I hate to use this word, but they're militias from all over the Southeast that showed up to help anybody that needed it. They didn't ask what color they were there to help anybody that needed it. But yet on the news, all they would have concentrated on was armed militiamen raid the South after, you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. And
what I miss.
Militias are granted. I mean, to me, it's just, again, hopefully I won't get too much older because I'm getting more and more cynical as the days go by. I really am. I mean, it's just
that's part of the plan, John. At our age, they don't care if we figure it out because nobody's going to listen to us.
Right. But our kids that are in college, like my daughter,
they don't believe a word of this yet.
No.
Yeah.
Well, they've been indoctrinated anyways. They're brainwashed.
Right. Well, don't you think we all were to some extent? I mean, I was born in '67, so I know in school the shit that I was learning was kind of fucked up. In hindsight, it was kind of one-sided. I can only imagine that it's gotten only worse. But it's always been like that. I can remember being at Auburn, being at a final exam on mushrooms. I had long hair at the time, and the professor was a liberal and had long hair and told me he liked my hair. I told him I was feeling dizzy, and he said, come back next week and take it. He wouldn't have done that if I was a preppy kid. He thought I subscribed to his everything. I was a liberal arts major. So I was in the midst of that. But at the same time,
have you atoned for your
I never
privilege?
lost my core.
Yeah.
because I've always been socially liberal. I mean, in terms of when I say socially liberal and fiscally conservative, where I don't think the government should say you should go to jail because you ingested that, or you should, not do whatever.
I
I think
don't care what anybody is as long as they're good people, dude. Me and Kyle talk nearly every day. We don't get on politics a whole lot because there's things that Kyle and I don't agree on. And I know what they are, and he knows what they are. So we just avoid those topics sometimes. We may agree on them just to different extents, but that's all media, whether it's social media, the headline news, whatever. That's all it is nowadays. Is they've realized how profitable it is to keep us arguing. Because after an hour of arguing online with somebody, and then that word that you said 45 minutes ago pops up in your feed, available on Amazon, you need that dopamine rush to replace all that anger. So you go ahead and buy it, dude.
And the scary thing is the ramifications are so bad because it's giving people mental problems, but the overall goal is engagement. I mean, the media platforms they want the government off their back. I don't think they're pushing an agenda as much as saying, government, whatever you want, don't fuck with us because we've got so much power, it would scare you.
Yeah. Bullshit. So they're hand in hand.
Yeah. You think?
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
And that's very possible, too. I just look at it as...
all those ex-Twitter officials and stuff have admitted that, now that...
oh, yeah, that it was filtered big time.
Told them, hey, don't talk about this, don't talk about that, shut all this information down.
Zuckerberg even came out and said that they told him about the Hunter Biden stuff, So, but they were pressured. I wonder how much was because they've all got shit in their closet, kind of like the shit Diddy's got on people, but more business type stuff. Think of all the venture capitalists that have bought into some of these tech companies and been bought out probably by now, but still. There's a lot of
money off of fear porn and just downright hypocrisy. And that's why if you want to actually get media and good news, don't turn on the regular news, period.
Absolutely.
Ed, you're 100% right, dude. If you can't tell me that was planned and that's being done on purpose, they are lowering our testosterone levels for a reason.
Yes, you're exactly right. The simp nation.
Yeah.
Who wants to buy a knife?
What are you selling?
I want to buy a knife, but I don't have any money.
I listed like 20 knives for sale.
Hey, Shane, check this out. Did you see this earlier?
My first strider. Whenever I get the money to get it, I want to come from you.
Deal.
From you.
He is a Strider whisperer. Check this out that I borrowed from A to Z to review. Have you ever seen one of these? Watch this.
Yeah, man. Those were like
with two in it.
Those were in like martial arts
you know what that
magazines when I
blade
was a
steel
kid.
says it is? I don't think it is, but what it says it is, the blade steel, M390.
Shane, though, do you like a small
point?
what size knife?
Do what, Steve?
What size knife? Do you like the SMF or the SNG size?
Change an
I had a Microtech DOC. And,
which one?
And it was too big to daily carry. But
the
I had, I had a ProTech SNG, and as far as carrying it every day, I liked it better.
You like the SNG size?
Yeah.
That's what, I mean, you're a bigger dude. That's interesting.
Yeah. That's this one right here.
If I'm sitting at home playing with it, looking at it, imagining that I'm still a 30-year-old badass, I like the SMF.
And if you want to just try to make sure, spend $69, get an F&Grow EF225, put it in your pocket before you throw it over the clear.
Javon, put yourself in timeout.
Yes, kids.
That's why I call ask which one. Because I got an F&Grow clone DOC.
I don't know if I have any for sale right now. I sold 3 Striders today. I sold an XL to Dave.
Yeah.
And then I sold a custom SMF, double gunner grip. And then stupid. I can't believe I got rid of them. But it's just kind of like, you can kind of breathe, right?
Yeah.
Then I want to get the collection. I've got
I can't believe you didn't trade your buddy, your PT 207, for a couple of GECs. I know you got off the GECs when you bought that janky one.
Just PT. I'll buy
The-
you one if you quit calling it
PT 204.
207.
It's just a PT. The 207 is the textured ProTech, and then the PT 206 is a smooth, right? My bad.
It's just PT. It's just Strider PT.
What's PT stand for? Petite?
I don't know. They've got so many. There's Strider.
you
Map the Strider military folder.
Military, it stands for physical training. I don't know if Strider was.
It might be SNG. I'm not gonna. They've got a weird thing. Like it.
But
I won't say what SNG stands for.
SNG was the story I read was a friend of his who died in combat.
The
About-
The initials?
two
His
Black
initials?
Hawk Down guys.
Yeah.
The two Delta guys. That's all I'm gonna say. You guys go research it. You know, shoot Garton Gordon. But that's what that stands for, and they don't speak of it like it's. You know, Strider's got its own lore. And for all the people that shit on Strider, just real quick though, in that group, like we talk about knife community, and you hear me bitch about the knife community a lot, like people who won't help out someone like Donnie Bless, who went to Blade Show and on day one hasn't sold a knife yet. But what if that douchebag would have done a video for Donnie Bless?
Yeah.
Could Donnie have made $6,000 today? Could Donnie have changed his life, right?
Yeah.
If someone with hundreds of thousands of subscribers helped out that guy.
Dude, what I found out
him during that live stream last night, Scotch, and I got to talking about it. I was standing there grinding on my $250 grinding jig. That's not at all enough or what I need. So I brought it up and was talking about the fact that he was given a $2,500 2x72. He's had it for years.
Who's
All
that?
he gotta do is plug it in and fucking make something.
Who's that?
I'm not.
Oh, you know why he can't though? The
You
power
bagged
in the
on-
garage
you
is
bagged
not
on
the
Donnie?
right power. He has to get a different power source. And since
Shut no, dude.
Wait, the
No.
guy who's not helping who bagged on Donnie.
Yeah. So
he
So
also
instead of
Jason
actually
Grant
making-
wanted to send him a knife just to get this has been 2 years ago. And when Shane
of
said this, I thought about it.
he's having shit made in China, wanting you guys to spend your hard-earned money on it.
But it's the best knife ever. It is the greatest knife ever.
Yeah.
That's
When
what he
he's
said.
got the equipment sitting right there to do something and wants to tell you how to be a man.
Wait, because what kind of power does he need for the grinder?
440.
No, it's 220.
What does the normal house have? 125?
John, that's bullshit. Just get that out of your mind. It's not doing it because he doesn't want to.
Any garage or any
He doesn't have
dryer
a passion. He
outlet.
doesn't really have a passion for anything other than making money off of his viewers. That's all he has a passion for.
Palmer, I've talked to people who know, and it's kind of bullshit.
I don't doubt it. I don't doubt it.
Zero.
Because
And I
again,
can
I
tell
go
you,
back to
Palmer,
when
Palmer,
Jason
I
wanted
know
to
your
send a
dad-
knife out just for
Palmer,
him
was
to
your
look
dad in
at.
the military?
and
Is he
thought-
still in the military?
John,
And
if
you know how those guys
And
roll.
there was like there was a
He
price
did what
tag
they said
for
he
him to
did.
look at it.
Would those military guys really back him the way they do?
Yeah.
Someone bagged on Donnie. I don't mean they bagged on him.
Getting the questions of
Donnie
people.
wanted to send him a knife just when he first started making folders and just basically said, hey, man, you handle a lot of knives. This is my first handmade custom knife. You don't have to make a video on it, but I'd like to send it to you.
Iron Butterfly, I think that's going to be awesome. Let me pull it up. real quick.
And could you give me some tips and pointers on how to make it better? And so Schneeves Knives said, has anybody else made a video on this knife? And Donnie said, yeah, another YouTuber's handled one and made a video. And Schneeves
Home run on Butterfly.
said,
I've seen those. That is an awesome
he
knife.
won't do anything for me. No.
Yeah. Yeah. Make the video on your knife. If I'm not the first one, it's not going to do anything for my channel. So no, I don't want to see it.
Yeah.
That's to me,
Defend
that's
him,
going
John.
to come back.
Let's
that's
hear it. John. What's the
I love
defense?
how some of these YouTube knives, like, and we talked about, like, anybody can make a knife, but don't tell me Shmooze Knives has a CAD is doing his own CAD drawings and designing his own knives. Doing that.
It's no different than Cole Singer earlier. You guys, I love Cole Coomer, Cole Coomer, but we were in there one night and he was talking about Manganis's designs, how he didn't really care for them.
I was in there.
Careful, he was in
there.
When he
was in here earlier, Shane.
When he realized that Sharif was in the chat, he was like, "Oh, well, maybe if you sent me some knives, I'd like them better." And I'm just thinking to myself, Cole, how can you right here in public just strip away any amount of
It's a different generation, Shane. It's a different, and I'm not trying to take up for him necessarily, but I'm just saying they're different.
I know. I get it.
They don't see things that would mortify you or I or make us feel shame. I think they look at that as the new economy.
Right.
Grifting is a new economy.
I can't remember what we were talking about before I went on that tangent. Something about Strider. Someone asked me a question.
Enjoy our program. Please consider throwing some money at us and getting us down to zero. Man, it helps a ton. I hope we can turn the corner very, very soon.
It breaks my heart that Donnie hasn't sold a knife on Day One of Blade Show. It fucking breaks my heart.
How many knives did Donnie take? He'll sell them.
5 or 6. I can't remember. I told him, he was like, "Hey, man, I'm sorry." I was on. So I put in my order right before I went on vacation at the end of June, July. And my order came up.
They're secretly a gay couple.
Don't worry about my knife. Focus on Blade Show. Focus on Blade Show. Get your shit together. And what did he say? He needed some kind of wheel the other night. I was listening to you guys. Shh. I'm going to buy him a wheel.
Shane, did you say you'd gotten a respirator? Because I was worried about you last night when you were grinding that Kydex.
Somebody bought me a respirator off Amazon. It's on the way.
You brought 4? Yeah, so he's been working on 5. 1's mine, 4 for the show. And
how did they find one on Amazon to fit your head? Because everyone we were looking at, it was
adjustable, John.
But that's the thing. If someone could have made a video and been giving him some more spotlight, so when these people at Blade Show look, and I don't know what Blade Show's like. I could only imagine walking around and just being all these knives everywhere and being overwhelmed on what I want to spend my money on, and you come up with you don't know. But if you've seen this guy, that's why as soon as I get my Donnie Blessed knife, that's all I'm going to talk about.
My thought is, if you're a content creator, and I don't have the
discipline, and he's going to make Dave and I knives.
I don't shoot at Blade shows, but if you did, I would think it would be beneficial to go to the guys that aren't Civivi, that aren't Kaiser, that aren't Spyderco. Yeah, those are cool companies, but they're going to get so much coverage anyway. If you want to stand out as a creator and draw attention to cool stuff, that's what it's all about.
Yeah, I mean, he's going
to. I know for others it's not.
He's going to make. I think he's got.
It's not about any of that, John. It's about him. It's about themselves.
You should I didn't know Donnie until it was that live. It was me and Shane were doing that live where I got smoked. I mean, my family, everybody was you remember? I mean, and all of a sudden in the chat,
which live was this, Scott?
Nebraska, I found out the dude lives an hour and 40 minutes from me, and I haven't even touched his knife. But hearing from Shane how he makes these knives, I can't fucking wait. He's taken these 2 hands, and he doesn't have he doesn't have anything. He's doing shit with not even good tools. A Ryobi fucking
battery powered router.
Yeah. And then he's goddamn matching everything up before he even thinks about putting it.
He's sitting here doing this to get shit flat. This is how he's
getting it to an exact specification.
I mean, he's getting your scales and your blade. He's just, I mean, yeah,
I never knew Donnie until Shane's Live, but I realized that I met Donnie at Blade Show because I was outside with Dark Gravity and his son. They were smoking, and Dopey was out there.
These fucking
and Donnie was getting against the wall
by their channel name at shows.
And Dopey and Donnie were sharing a little devil's lettuce chatting, and we all kind of chatted for about 30 minutes. And then when I saw him on Shane's Live, I knew who he was. But that's the same 15 minutes.
I didn't know Donnie Bless till a week before Blade Show, and I didn't fucking like him first.
I wouldn't even if I went to fucking.
I thought he was really nice, except he never passed me the bowl.
Like I haven't ever been to a show, but these clowns that get these fucking media passes so they can get in early and buy knives.
Oh, dude, go to Nashville. Well, any show for Friday early bird and watch goddamn scammers go in with their briefcases full of money to buy knives just to leave there and sell them and push people out of the way.
Like, you have a YouTube channel. I mean, you're not important. It doesn't matter how many subs you have. I looked at my thing the other day. I'm almost to 5,000. I've been doing this for like 8 years.
Those are 5,000 engaged viewers, though. I've been doing it for 2. I've got a bunch.
Give away something big. I might go crazy.
I want to warn you about something. You're going to lose. You're literally on the verge of losing your engaged, your core people.
All right, guys.
Talking about
my headphones are dying. I'm out.
God damn it! I forgot Kyle was here.
Talking about steel toe. You think they're joking with you? They fucking hate it.
Have I said it tonight? Have I mentioned it
tonight? Well, you played it just a minute ago.
That's a sound drop.
Right.
That's a sound drop, and I'm playing that to pick on other people, and I know other people like the people I pick on. So yeah, and I don't give a fuck.
Kyle, no,
my colleague.
I forgot he was here.
Like I was telling some guy who had just started in the YouTube group, just be you. Just be your authentic self, whatever that is. If you're an asshole, be an asshole.
You have a YouTube group?
If you're a nice guy, be a nice guy. No, it's a group that I'm on Instagram that I think Lefty started it, and it's just a bunch of people sharing.
People that get together to talk shit about me.
They don't.
Well, I would love this.
I've seen this.
You know, as much.
I've also heard you're always the first one to come to my defense, so I appreciate that.
Dude, you are the most loved asshole in the fucking community. You've always been a troll. You've always been that guy. So it's not like you're surprising people. Now, people like Ben might get his panties hurt because he doesn't know you as well.
Ben.
Or MC because he doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about.
MC went after him. Ben Peterson, I mean, he went after me.
No, Ben. He's talking about Ben. Ben Belkin.
Oh, Ben Belkin's a dumbass.
Yeah.
What did Ben Peterson go after you for?
Oh, I commented on one of his videos that he's an idiot. Basically, Palmer let me know. I mean, I want to say I grew up with, watching those Blade HQ videos with Ben.
Yeah.
Is it Peters or Peterson? Ben, whatever the fuck his name is.
He's Ben Peterson, the one that was on Blade HQ. Yeah, what's up, guys?
He's a fun guy to watch. He's good at what he does, right? And
satisfaction in 15 minutes. Yeah, we got to give away a knife.
A video about China and how it's all fucking rainbows and butterflies and we're all retards.
Did y'all see Brian's Transparent Knives live on Instagram today? I urge you to watch it if you didn't. It's good. About case knives.
Is Ben Belkin in the chat?
I don't know. I don't think
pound sand.
Ben is a cool dude, and Ben is a true.
You can't keep coming in saying cost. My knives are hand fit. Blah blah blah. That's why they cost this much.
Well,
bullshit. You gotta call bullshit at some point, Javon.
I'm a capitalist, but all I'm saying is Ben was a GEC purist before he ever told any of us about Jack Wolf. When I knew Ben, he was going to the gathering every year. He collected GCs, and he always wanted to do a knife company. So,
but here's my funny. Here's
a knife company, John. That's not a fucking knife company. That's a Chinese marketing company.
It's a business.
Call it what it is. It's a Chinese marketing company.
It's the marketing is not coming from China. I'm not arguing. I'm just giving you another point.
I know a lot of people like that. What's that guy? C.W. Reiser?
C. Rosner something, yeah.
Cutlery?
Who's got these blah, blah, blah. Real quick, Shane, just to get back to what we were saying, I don't think he is necessarily trying to fuck people over.
I didn't say it was, but he's not a knife company.
I think there's a cost. I think there's a cost.
He's never produced a fucking thing. He's marketing a Chinese product.
You're not muted, Scott.
For a Chinese company. That's all he is. Is he a good dude? Yeah. He's a nice guy.
But my point was the marketing comes from his creator friends and from people showing the knives. What he has created, to some extent, not a knife, but designs.
No, he hasn't. Those designs are 100 years old. I haven't created a design either. My heathen is
they are unique.
By Strider.
I have a question, teacher. I don't want to get muted again. I'm just saying.
We got to go, guys. I got to give this away.
Both Ben and like that C.W. Reiser guy seems like a really nice guy, but they both talk about their grandfathers.
Their grandfather,
Ben's grandfather was in the knives. C.W. Reiser, whatever, right?
Yeah,
Created a knife company. Both of their grandfathers would kick them in the nuts for what they're doing.
100% correct.
You never know. You never know because times change, guys.
Your granddad was a Nazi.
Your granddad would be proud. I know my granddad was a Nazi. I'm not hiding from that. But I'm just saying, they would probably be proud.
Your grandfather would bring
that they took over what they liked, what they learned from them, and they are doing it with modern materials. Speaking of modern materials,
they're not doing anything, John. He's not doing anything with modern materials.
Who's not?
Ben Belkin.
No, I know he's not.
Chinese are doing something with modern materials.
He's telling them what to do. He's not saying make me knives and I'll tell you which ones I want. It's a little different than that.
It's not much different, John.
I know it's not much, and I'm not gonna. I'm
a nice guy. Yeah. Could I have dinner with him and shoot the shit about something other than knives? Absolutely. I've had conversations with him, but he's not a knife maker. He's not making anything. He's only marketing a Chinese product. That's what he does. That's what all the YouTubers are doing now. They haven't made anything. They're not knife companies.
And I don't mean the C.W. Reiser. That dude seems awesome.
He's a good guy. I mean, I like him. His
grandfather started the company, and he's sold it to China.
Yeah.
But he also deals in the knives that he can get in America, like GECs, cases. He also deals with China because you can't.
Steve, are you buying the?
If you don't make a knife, if you don't have the skills to make it, which I know you should have the skills to make it, but if you don't have the skills to make it,
do something else.
No, I think in a global. I don't see it that way. I mean, I don't think I should go have a knife made in China. I don't think I'd sell it. I don't think that's my destiny. But for somebody like Austin or somebody like Ben, let's say they really wanted to create a company.
Mirsalt's on fire tonight, dude.
What?
Mirsalt is on fire in the chat tonight. That dude has been funny as hell.
I don't think Todd Carr.
Oh, God.
Gosh, are you going to buy any of the Main Street knives from Medford?
I'm gonna wait till they come to DLT because I have a bunch of DLT points to piss away.
And whose code are you gonna use? Whose link? Whose affiliate link?
Do you have a DLT code?
Yes, I've got codes for everywhere. You need to go to Polish Custom Knives, dude. Why don't you go buy a B?
Spend so much money at DLT. It should be just called Steve.
Do your giveaway. Love y'all.
Hey Shane, love you, brother.
You guys have a great night. And I think, is Todd Carr, are you from Australia, Todd? No, I think Todd lives in Australia.
Canada. I think Canada. All right, we got 17 entries. I know there's more people.
He's a smart guy, but
guys, this is a full tang.
That's not.
beater of a knife. I put an edge on it. It's G10 handles. It is a chunk. And it's going to be a pain in the ass to ship, but I got a box. Or the other Australia. Yeah, Josh Worth is from Australia.
That's it.
R4A. All right. How many? Does everybody got their R4A in?
Is Maddie going live tonight?
Yeah, they live right now. They just went live.
All right, I'm
So
going to go take a whiz. I'll see you guys over there.
All right, tell them we're coming. That I'm sorry I'm late. Gary is playing for Shane. I love it.
I'm going to go watch some more watch videos while I watch them.
Good to see you, Chicago 23. All right, guys, get in there because I'm getting ready to pull it.
Palmer, hit me up with some more watch suggestions.
27 entries and 49 people. R4A, R4A is all you got to put in there. Hashtag R4A. All right, guys, we are going to make it happen. I'm going to share the screen. I'm going to attempt to share the screen. It's sharing. All right. So here we go. Good luck, everybody. Bang. Who's it going to be? Ed. Ed is the winner of the County Com. So, Ed, if you would, my friend, send me an email with your address. Congrats, Ed. Javon's Knife Flicks at Gmail. And if you can send it tonight, it's no rush, but if you can send it tonight, I will get you shipped out tomorrow on Saturday. Javon's Knife Flicks at gmail.com. I spelled it right. Just reach out to me, buddy. Congratulations. I want to thank all y'all for coming and hanging out with me. I appreciate it. Again, I'm going to do a small members live tomorrow at 2, and then I'll be live Tuesday, 10:15, I guess. I might move that up a little bit. I don't know. I just don't want to step on anybody's toe. Ed Harrison, I love you, buddy. I will see you on said faction. I'm not going to Taco Bell. I love each and every one of you. I absolutely appreciate y'all coming and hanging with me. And until we meet again, do me a favor. Look out for that guy or gal to your left. Please look out for the guy or gal to your right. Look out for one another. Go forward with love in your hearts. Debate, not hate. Peace.